stay off the weed. Stay off the weed. And you can't stay off the weed. You ain't getting busted for using weed. Stay off the weed. You can stay off the weed. Stay off the damn weed. And they don't listen.
When it comes to marriages, the women lose their mind. Your fiance is going to lose her mind. Your mother-in-law is going to lose her mind. Your mom is going to lose her mind. Several of your sisters and female relatives are going to lose their mind. Go elope. Trust me on that. Go elope. Because basically every female in the family is going to terrorize you guys until it's over. Once it's over, I mean, they'll be upset for a few days, but it'll be over. And then, you cruise away, along, have a happy marriage, have a happy life.
I'll pass along the message. Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Trevor, unless he's crazy, is totally on my side. And trust me on this. If Trevor doesn't have the sense to do that, tell him to call me. Because, I mean, he needs to do. I told all my kids, I'll give you $10,000 extra if you elope. So far, they haven't done it, but I would, too.
I'll have him call you for sure.
All right.
Hey, here we go. Hey, what is hot? Hey, turbo, hey, can. Hey, what is hot?
Okay, so far, that is what it feels like right now. We just married through creating legs. I think it's not over yet after 3-11 on marriage.
Okay, but listen, I still beat both of y'all. I know that.
I mean, well, damn. Nobody won. Jada was trying to win the fade. You talking about you could. So all these people that feel that bracket, you just trying to beat me and Joe, huh?
That's all that matters. That's the only thing that matters.
Okay.
Hey, matter of fact, hold on.
What this man got now? He done got him a crowd or something, Joe. Nah. And still.
Hey, man, you gotta chill, bro. Look at this. What we talking about? And still.
What keep you motivated though? Because like people like you don't ever get tired.
Tired of what? Winning?
All right. Why? Nick Saban retiring? Huh? Nick Saban retiring? What? It's on ESPN. Oh, no.
I'll tell you, quarterbacks, you get all the good looking good eyes. What a beautiful woman. Wow, he's AJ's doing some things right now. So you're a youngster in Alabama. Start getting the football out and throw it around the backyard.
What we've told our guys was let's study that thing and then get busy. Like a homely girl on a honeymoon. Busy. We want to be busy.
Went to Chicago yesterday.
Say group up, let's go.
Oh, no smoke with him.
Say group up, let's go.
He's serious.
I've been to Charlotte twice. I've been to Raleigh. Raleigh.
Okay, close enough.
That's how you say it? How you say it again? You for real? But it's spelled R-A-L-E-I-G-H.
Raleigh.
That's Raleigh.
Close enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she was nice too, huh?
We can't wait for kickoff, but we got to practice a little bit. I want these guys bouncing around today like a pogo stick on Viagra.
Hey, shut up texting me this. My team is losing right now. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
People talk about how talented they are and what a good team they are. They're consistent. They play well week after week. They didn't win the lottery to win 10 games.
Randy Orton slithering. Watch out. Here's the cover. Go away. Who give up yards? We do. Who missed tackles? We do. Who let tight ends run free? That's us. Third and long? Still first down. Every time. Who can't stop a screen?
Yeah, me too, Jack. Me too, buddy. Me too.
Say the Dallas Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
Are you smoking dope? You got to be.
And I had to go back and replay this because what the is she crying for, boy? Bitch must have bet her soul on this game. Then watch this next white lady come up.
You're still alive.
Boy, she act like somebody killed a pet.
We just won. What was the score? 31-14. Stephen A. Watch him out.
Oh shit! It's a good sound clip for the season.
Hey man, how much have you had to drink tonight? Not enough. Not enough? Not enough.
Peters and Amari Cooper. We'll see who gets that call.
Cowboys win. Higgins will get a flag thrown here. Jordan Lewis is going after it with good reason.
I look at the computer. The computer say, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Because I be saying so much about it, especially like on our team. And people love to blame the players so much. They be like, oh, he's just not what he thought he could be. And in my head, I want to tweet out so bad is, when are we going to stop saying it's players instead of saying, or it's coaching or scheme? Like, why don't the scheme ever suck? Why don't the coaching ever suck? Like, people don't realize that, bro. There be a lot of like, BS that be going into this league. Like, that people don't realize, like, you think I want to be doing the BS? They telling me I got to do it. Like, he has to overcome another obstacle. So I'm going to support him. I'm going to lift him up. And I'm going to be there for him.
because I see the way he fights. I see the way that he works. And I know who he is as a person, and that's all I have to say to address.
I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we're so far past that, to be honest with you, but that's obvious. I mean, you just want to piss me off going into this week.
I'm like, bro, Cowboys supposed to be playing tonight. What the fuck is going on? I got my hat on, I got my jersey on, I got my forces on, I got my swag on, I done prayed to my Jesus, everything, what it?
If ever going to be there, but, you know, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there, so, yeah.
We're here. We're here. DeMarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining us.
Girlfriend grabbed the phone. Got that phone right back. You get your phone, dog. You get your phone, dog. That was the play of the season. Every man at the house was going, get your phone, dog. Get your phone, dog. CD Lamb.
Now we look at our 10-day forecast. It's looking a little bit like those Dallas Cowboys is peaking in the 90s.
I really like the Eagles.
Stop saying that. We want the Cowboys to win.
No, I want the Eagles to win.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do.
Coming up, got 42 catches.
I want the Eagles to win.
Keep saying it.
But when healthy, still a player who will be a part of this Philly offense this season.
The Eagles on offense are like a good boxer. It's like they just jab.
I want the Eagles to win.
Jab, and then all of a sudden you start creeping in and make plays and stop Saquon.
You want the Cowboys to win?
Are your hands on?
Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts for $15. Brother Chris, it's all about Jalen Hurts because he got a black queen forever, snow bunny never. I like Patrick Mahomes, but he's bunny hopping. I'm going with number one. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. Fly, RBG, Eagles fly. I said fly, RBG, Eagles fly.
Y'all today. Go Birds. About to spank y'all today, too. Enjoy y'all package, though. Take this down. Y'all about to lose. Fly, Eagles fly.
Are you going to school tomorrow?
I don't know.
Is he going to school tomorrow?
No, I ain't making it.
That's a bruise. It ain't just no soreness, it's a bruise. You're gonna aggravate it with the gun.
Come on, talk to that.
I graduated exercise science. I'm gonna listen. Damn. You getting your ass out here, you finna block.
I ain't blocking.
No, you getting your ass out here, we finna block.
I ain't blocking.
Blocking the date.
I'm not blocking.
Hey man, how's it going? You Jake?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so someone called in reference to your Facebook post.
The Eagles lost, man.
I know. So
I don't. I'm fine. The Eagles lost and the dogs are barking.
I got you. You don't hurt yourself?
No, the fucking Jalen Hurts the 3 goddamn turn the ball over 6 times, man.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. I appreciate it. All right, take it easy.
I think it's two ways you can actually cut a sandwich. A and B are the two ways you can cut it. Choose C or D. You seek help.
And was assisting people down. My man just started throwing babies out the window. We was catching them, unlike Aguilar and his mishaps. I like to put that out there.
The MVP front runner. If anybody else got to say something different about that, then come see me. I'm right here in Beemore outside the bank. If you got an issue with that, come see me. I'm about that. Big trust. Woo woo. Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
Take a few more here for Lamar. Mike Jones. Lamar, there was that point in the season where you guys lost 3 straight, 4 or 5.
Mike Jones. Mike Jones. That's me. Mike Jones. That's me right now. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right.
What? What the fuck?
Oh my. Oh.
What the?
Oh.
You bristling up? Oh, just make sure you're not. Because I can bristle up too now. I mean, you ask a question like that, and I'm trying to give you a logical answer.
The season's a lot like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. And so we've got to realize the importance of each football game.
Hey, when you
I use more product than anybody.
When you and Tim go get your hair done, what y'all tell them? Like to the left or the right?
No, I tell them go number 2 all the way up to a fade and just give me a phone hawk, man. It's a phone hawk, bro.
Number 2.
Hey, Paul, what do you tell them?
Hey,
just a little off the side.
Leave
Just a little bit off the side.
Leave the sides.
I always tell them I should leave a little bit on the top.
Oh.
The Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldogs.
Wow. Not so fast, midget. Not so fast.
Midget?
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast. I go with Harvard. What's the matter?
I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take it serious. I'm not real serious. I put my heart and soul into it every single week.
All I'm saying is the camera show.
I'm just telling you right now what I do every single week. Every single week, I put my freaking heart and soul into this. I step my off. I go out there and laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny. Nothing's funny to me. I don't want to go out there and get embarrassed on Monday Night Football in front of everybody.
That's why I'm asking you.
I'm telling you right now. We're talking. Dudes and I are talking.
What was the context?
I'm done. Sorry. I'm not doing it.
I want to say y'all saw Dakota. I want to go to LSU. Ended up going to Mississippi State. Won a game. 1 year out of 6. Oh, you think that's funny, T? You got 2 B's, don't you? So you undefeated, bro? Hey, how you feel?
I just don't condone the bashing of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and have the
Green throws him in a chokehold, brings him back down, and is throwing punches. And no one has any chill at this moment, and they're after it. All Ragnarok is breaking out there in Jacksonville, Bengals and Jags.
All right, tell the camera what you think about life. Like, how do you see life?
Sucks, but I'm playing football right now, so.
And just Smitty, so, and then none of them. So I had all the thought process planned out. But anyways, oh, there's Landon.
Yeah. Clearly, Landon Dickerson, the center, All-American.
Watch this, George.
Damn.
What the? He bought that like.
Boy, quick.
Oh, I knew how important this was for our team. Our team, chill. I knew how important this was for our team, and just.
It's just crazy to me how much music I don't know out here. Like, I know I'm getting old. Like, I listen to all types of music too. I just don't know shit out here. I ain't never heard this song in my life.
I'm big. Yeah.
1 yard.
Bro, y'all need help, bro.
Who told y'all that? Who told you?
J-Mo, that's your fault.
I'm gonna go to Cancun like everybody told me to do, and I'm gonna enjoy myself because I don't have nothing else to do, so take myself there. So you don't quit, and you don't quit in sports. You retire. You don't get to quit. It's not an option. See, someone told me a long time ago, that ain't even an option. The person told me that, he ain't here anymore, he died.
I always tell our boys that the most important things in life are faith, family, and football. I don't believe it, you stupid son of a... Run the route again. Mark, you stupid mother... That is so bad. Are you mentally challenged, son? Or seriously, are you mentally challenged? And if you notice there, I put them in that order for a reason, because the thing that comes first is your faith. Your faith with God is the most important thing in life. If you don't get your into gear, we might not win a ball game all season. We'll go 0-12. And everyone in your life is going to hate you, myself included. All right? All right, bow your heads. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we as a coaching staff know that football is just a game. So we want to use this game to build young men of character. Win by any means necessary. So if you're at the bottom of the pile, you see someone's finger, break it. You see that star running back at the bottom of the pile, twist that ankle, get him out of the game. Anything we can do to win this ball game. I don't care if you got to play dirty. I don't care if you got to cheat.
I'm telling you. Hey, they're rougher than a pine cone toilet seat. Those guys can really play.
Are you in this game? Let him handle it. Let him handle it. Let him handle it. Let him handle it. Oh, you shut the fuck up. Let him handle it. Don't tell me nothing. You understand? Get off the fucking sideline. Push it on my. You don't push it on my.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
We had several opportunities to make plays. We didn't get the plays made. We got to make more plays. It reminded me when I was in the 3rd grade, and it came time to go to the 4th grade in June, and they told me I was almost good enough to go to 4th. Did you go or not? No, I had to go to 3rd. You did again? Yeah.
Trying to get our asses kicked Friday.
Coach, what about 4th string? Didn't even get to practice.
Wilder, after all the goddamn shenanigans you pulled last season, you should be thanking God you're still in goddamn uniform, goddammit!
Needed some time to get going, and here comes the... Oh! We almost lost one.
You got another game. You got another game, man.
And roll tide. Thank you. Roll tide. Roll tide. That's what. Roll tide. Roll tide.
I hate Tennessee because first of all, it's Tennessee. And I just hate them because they low down, they dirty, they some snitches. And I hate Philip Homer. I hate their colors. I'm not a dog person. I just hate Tennessee, man. Like I hate Neyland Stadium. It looks like a garbage truck working convention. And I hate all the quarterbacks.
I hate Tennessee, man.
Tell me you feel about the colors too.
It reminds me, it's not that orange you can say. I hate Tennessee more than I hate Auburn. I just dislike Auburn. I hate Tennessee. Tennessee's colors is that throw orange. It's not that orange you can sit with. It's that puke inside of pumpkin orange. And I don't like pumpkins. So I really don't like Tennessee, man. I can't stress that enough, man. And they lose, they sore losers because they're not Alabama, and I hate Tennessee, man.
That's every all year. Thank you, man.
I can't stress that enough. I hate them.
I mean, his ability to just escape and make plays on the run, I mean, it's just outstanding what I've seen. And just the defensive side of it as well. They're definitely going to be a concern for me going forward if Alabama doesn't get their offensive line straightened out.
Chelsea, that's a great point, because if you look at Alabama's
60 seconds, right? Can't wait to get paid again.
Oh, baby. You know what? I'm still happy.
Oh, there it is, buddy.
What is up, y'all? We're going to start off with some drops because we got Big Natty here, and I can't wait to show him his new drop, okay? So let me go find Big Natty's drop. Let's see. Here we go.
Come on, Clint! Oh, God!
He's still down there. Still there. Yep, he just come up and wrecked the hell out of you again on purpose.
Y'all have it going.
Back flop.
That's it. That's why I don't take this shit serious.
Sorry, Tyler. Just trying to talk to you there.
Peace out!
Shout out Bubba Wallace. If you don't know, Big Daddy is into sim racing. So shout out to you, Big Natty. I hope you like your new drop. I thought it was fitting for you. So there we go. There's your new drop. And we have DRX, Dr. X in the building. I haven't seen you in a while. Always good to see you. Let's play your drop. Let's see. Where's it at here?
We can conquer the world. I want to see titties.
What's up?
Oh, man, get your ugly ass off the fucking thing. Fat head ass.
Y'all, if you don't know, I love Boozy. He's from Louisiana. And DRX, Dr. X, he's from Louisiana as well. So that's why Boozy is his drop. Shout out you. Alright, and we have LC. I love your drop that you requested. Let's go find that drop right here. Shout out the Dodgers 2025 World Series with Ice Cube. That was a good drop that you requested. And we have Stephen James. Stephen James, let's see. I still got to clip yours up, but I think I have it set where it needs to be. Let's see.
You bristling up?
Oh, maybe I
Oh,
don't.
just make sure
Let
you're
me see
not.
if I can't fast forward to where it's at. Maybe this is it.
You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. You start telling me.
I clicked on the right spot right there. I wasn't expecting that. That was good. That was good timing for me. That's like how long is this clip? Okay, it's like a 2-minute clip, but I clicked the very part where it needed to be. What are the odds? But you play to win. You play to win. Alright, let's see who we got. Oh yeah, Mac, I got a drop for you. Shout out you, Mac. Let's see. Let me find your drop here. I'm so excited to show you your drop too.
How much fun is this, and how much are you enjoying this experience so far?
Honestly, I think this is terrible doing all this. I think that we could have stayed in Philly and come on Friday or Saturday.
Then you wouldn't get to see Timberlake and all the other celebrities here. It's part of the experience, right?
He's a normal person. He bleeds just like I bleed. He go through Philly just like I. So, I mean, he's a celebrity to you. I mean, hats off to him. I listen to his music. I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, great artist. But I'm here to play football. I care less about all that other.
Did you see the temperature for game day on Sunday?
We playing indoors.
If you were outside, though, how would that affect it?
I don't think Super Bowl will be in the winter. I mean, we'll be here.
Makes sense. They had it in cold.
Shout out you, Mac. And yes, go Cree Cree. That was Coach Herm. Let's see. Let me find your drop now.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Shout out Go Cree Cree. Y'all go subscribe to Go Cree Cree's channel if you're not already subscribed. We have a great time over there. Okay. Oh, great. I'm glad you liked your drop, Mac. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully everyone's loving their new drops. Alright, let's go to the main screen now. So, going to start off with a motivational video. Actually, you know what? Gonna play, before I forget, y'all, All Rise for the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem, because I'm bad to forget, and I end up playing it at the end of the show when I need to play it at the beginning of the show. So, All Rise for the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem, just like your Patriots over at the Do Better Podcast with Theo Coop, and over on Go Creekery's channel. You're also Patriots here, and also on Beardman's channel now. So, All Rise for the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem.
On the Star Spangled Banner, Fergie.
That a flag was still there.
Alright, there we go. I remembered. Look at me. So, gonna start off with a motivational video and updates on Lakers versus OKC. Y'all, that was interesting last night, let me tell you. So we're gonna cover that. Cover Russell Wilson because Derek, shout out Derek. Derek sent me some content. Derek's been killing it on sending me plenty of content, y'all. I have content for days thanks to Derek. So going to cover a video that Derek had sent me on Russell Wilson. Going to get into Adam Schefter's report from earlier today on the Pat McAfee show. Get into all the latest. Then cover Aaron Rodgers' return and some updates on Mahomes. And then finally get into discussing, does Christian Parker, the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, really have control over this Dallas Cowboys defense like the Dallas fans believe he does? So we're going to cover that and then close it out with a motivational video. Shout out Derek. Look at you showing up. Oh yeah, and Derek, I also have an update on the Bengals. Y'all, the Bengals, people might be sleeping on the Bengals. We'll see. But shout out Derek. Let me play your drop, Derek, since you strolled into the building. Always got to play that drop from Go Creekery's channel. Like I said, make sure you are subscribed to Go Creekery's channel if you want to see that full G Hudson roast.
Leave Chelsea alone. What's wrong with you, G Hunter? I'm the one who tells you about your fantasy. Listen. Send me your address so I can send you a rainbow flag. Since you want to look like Alicia Keys. That's okay, man. You can't even grow. You can't even grow enough hair. Okay? I'm not accustomed to a man wanting to look like a woman. And you too dark to look like her. Why don't you? You know what? You look like a good Jennifer Hudson. That's what you would look like.
Yeah, you look like a gremlin, nigga. You look like a gremlin.
Full clip right here, okay? I'm playing the full clip because I haven't seen it in a while.
Jennifer Hudson. Hey, G Hudson. G Hudson.
You look like a gremlin and top room look like a predator.
That's your name for the year.
Oh man, yeah. Switch over to Jennifer, man. We'll call you G Hudson from now on.
Jennifer Hudson.
Mean girl.
Chelsea with that big ass head.
He needs some milk. Hey, I told you to leave Chelsea alone. Hey,
Chelsea, just let me get your head. I'll both head the same size.
I told you to leave Chelsea alone. It's getting bad. It's getting worse for you, man. Just let it go and live.
Should have left me alone, and then he was trying to take my cowboy hat. You can get my hat. Oh, what is up, LY? Good to see you in the building. Let me play this one drop for LY. Let's see, where's it at? Gotta figure out which one it is here. Here we go. If you know, you know. Shout out Gilly. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start off with this Lakers video. Actually, no, I'm not. Just kidding. I have a play that I wanted to show y'all. I have a clip from CDT Beats that he sent me on Instagram. I really want to show y'all because I thought it was so impressive. Like, there's just no way this should happen to somebody on offense. But gonna play that clip and then play a clip from Ty Pro, and then I'll get into the Lakers versus OKC. Okay, so keep your eyes on, I don't know, is his number 15 or 5? I don't know what his number is. Keep your eyes on him though, okay? Just watch. I'm gonna try to, do it in slow motion. So you see him getting after him. He made that look so easy. There's no way a play like that should be that easy. He just took one look at the guy and said, yeah, I got you. I know I got you. And went after it. Let's play it in full motion, okay? And that was a great tackle, y'all. Great tackle. Wrapped him up and everything. Shout out that dude. What's his name? Let me zoom in on this. Safe to say, Falcons rookie. Kendall. Is it Kendall? Kendall Daniels. Shout out Kendall Daniels, man. That was a good tackle. All right. Now, here's the video from Ty Pro. Y'all, this was such a great... Man, I didn't play the motivational video. We'll play it after I play this clip from Ty Pro, because this is kind of motivational too, in a way. It's very inspiring.
Tobias Harris was a short, chubby, unathletic kid. Things got completely out of hand by his junior year of high school, which is also around the time he suffered a devastating loss, which we'll get to. Before all that, though, the worst thing he suffered were workouts with his family, which were so torturous, he says, he must have quit basketball at least 50 times as a kid. After his own father left when he was just 8, Tobias's dad made it his goal to rewrite history. He would have 6 kids of his own and be the most devoted father there ever was. While initially Tobias hated the relentless workouts and would much rather have been eating McDonald's instead, he says things changed for him when he started to get good. That was when training became fun. His parents made sure to expose him to a wide array of people through his AAU team. On the weekends, they'd travel into Harlem, picking up kids from the projects along the way. One of the kids from his team, Morgan, became his best friend, and the two frequently fantasized about the day they'd play in the NBA together. Then, at the age of 16, Morgan died from leukemia, leaving a bereft Tobias behind.
That's so sad. It's insane, the rates of cancer in younger people in the youth. I just seen, which this is an adult, right? I think he's 38 now, but I just seen from my banner, it popped up on the banner the other day, that South Carolina former quarterback, he was diagnosed with some type of stage 4 cancer. It's crazy, y'all.
Soon, his weight was getting to be enough of a problem that scouts started critiquing him, calling him too slow and not athletic enough. So the summer before his junior year, his dad, a sports agent, stepped in, putting him on a strict diet to get things back on track. And he recommitted to making it to the NBA for himself and his late friend Morgan. Once he got drafted, he started literacy programs in schools, he built affordable housing in underserved communities,
Really
he mentored
back to the community. You gotta love to see that. It's very inspiring, y'all.
at-risk kids in cities long after he was traded away from teams there, and he partnered with his high school's nurse to fund the school and church she had started in Haiti. He is like an answer to a prayer for me, she said, sobbing. Along the way, he never forgot his friend Morgan. To carry him with him, he wears the number 12, Morgan's number, whenever possible. And when his high school retired that number for him, he wept at the ceremony. The job's not over, though. After he's done with his NBA career, he hopes to become a school principal in an at-risk neighborhood. You have to teach the younger generation, Tobias said, so they can learn and teach too. Follow Storytime Sports.
Inspiring and so true. But shout out to Ty Pro from Prolific Minds Podcast. He's the one that sent me that on Instagram, so that was great. Great message. And shout out to BDB in the building. I have a new drop for BDB. Let me play that real quick. Let's see here.
How you feeling? How you living?
How ya feeling? How ya living? Shout out BDV in the building. Make sure y'all are subscribed to his channel. I will be on there as a guest judge. So make sure you're subscribed to his channel. All right, now we can get into Lakers versus OKC after I play this motivational clip from Tom Brady that Pooh Man sent me yesterday. Shout out to Pooh Man.
Is like you can't control the outcome all the time. Sometimes it should go the other people's way. It shouldn't always go your way. So you get motivated by the losses. You stay motivated through the winning. What you can control is your process. You can control those intangibles. You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you.
So focus, and this is something that Nick Saban's talked a lot about, the process and controlling what you can control. Like Tom Brady gets into detail right here, your attitude, your work ethic, those are things within your control. Now, there's a lot of outside factors, a lot of obstacles along the way that you can't control, but when it comes to you personally, like your attitude, how you approach things in life, all of that, those are within your control. You have the power to control that, and it's not easy to do. Like Tom Brady was talking about, it takes work, it takes effort, and it takes a lot of reading. I would say a lot of reading. I don't know if y'all are into psychologist books, but I read a lot of those, and it's very powerful. It really teaches you the process of how to approach things in a better way. All right, now let's get into the Lakers versus OKC. This is something that me and D Money, shout out D Money, but me and D Money talked about this yesterday in his live when he was gaming.
We got a cell phone video of Austin Reeves getting animated talking to the refs after the game. Let's take a look at what we So all the refs and I thought alternate also is in that scrum with the Lakers players. Yeah. Hey. Hold on, check this out, Joe. The rule states at the end of each game, the coaches and the players are to leave the court and go directly to the dressing room without pause or delay. There's absolutely no talking to game officials. Hey, listen. That's going to be a big ass fine. You think that's going to be a fine?
Yeah, just for a conversation?
Yeah. Well,
No.
I don't know. I don't know if they should be fined just for having a peaceful conversation. It's not like they were rowdy or anything, right? I don't know if that should necessarily be a fine. I haven't heard any updates. Let me see if I can see an update on if they got fined or not. But that game had questionable calls, y'all. Very questionable calls, and many people are talking about it. I think even OKC fans seen that there were questionable calls. So, Lakers, I think they were leading going into the half, and then the game changed, y'all. It changed big time, and I think the refs had a lot to do with that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything with them getting fined yet. Okay.
No. That's going to be a fine. It ain't like we were shoulder to shoulder and I'm demonstrative toward him. Right. Listen, bro, I have a problem and I'm just coming to you correct as a man. Now, if I go to the media and when they go to ask me questions, I say, "Oh man, the refs was some shit tonight." Yeah, now I'm going to get fined. I didn't really see nothing wrong with the way he went by tonight. Actually, I mean, I thought it was. I mean, I thought it was pretty fair if y'all asked me, man, versus going to the media because you know you're gonna get fined.
Yeah.
The rules
Yeah,
state
it's not
there's
like they went to the media and was talking trash about the refs. I mean, they just had a peaceful conversation after the game. It didn't look like there was any altercation. So,
no talking to game officials. Heard this out, okay? We got another video where he's talking to the refs late in the ball game, and let's see if we can read some lips and see what he said.
now this was different, right? This was a different situation because this was late in the game. You're right up in each other's faces. Now, I mean, this is different.
He said, "That's some bullshit. You don't talk to me like that." Hoo-ha.
Joe is
Yeah.
hilarious, y'all.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. There's some refs out here with some slick miles now. You know, they only can take so much. They still human
Now, this
too
is
now.
something people don't think about. You know, we often talk about the athletes talking trash, right? Or the coaches talking trash. We don't ever talk about the refs, y'all. Those refs be slick with it, okay? They, you know, you can push a ref. No, not literally push a ref, but, you know, push a ref to, you know, his or her limit. And they gonna get feisty.
You know, people like, oh, no, you got to be, no, bro, stop it. Yeah, and look, you stay on their ass all game you want to. They get frustrated too, bro. Absolutely. They get frustrated too. And I've heard refs, I've seen refs call guys out their names. You know what I mean? It's, hey, look, and in the heat of the moment, you're already at your highest festivity. Yeah, so things
I've
things
never
may
heard
get a
that
little-
word. I've never heard that word before. Festivity. I like that word though. I've never heard that in my life, but it sounds like something from the country, so I should start saying it.
Overblown a little bit.
Yeah.
So what in NFL, I mean, they fined my homeboy one time because he said something. I think he got fined and suspended a couple of games because he said something to Big Trent. But if it can be confirmed, yeah, I mean, they're probably fined. I don't know suspension, but there's a chance that Lakers gonna get fined for this.
Yeah, that's two L's. That's two L's, then, huh?
Hey,
Joe, they make it worse on themselves.
They're
Hey,
already
only
down
losing any
2. They have to win. But they're already down 2.
game, you losing to the refs. Shit, I mean, that's 2 losses in 1.
Hey, you got to take it if you're the Lakers. I mean, if you got 3 guys with 5 fouls, Uncle Ocho,
yeah.
I mean, damn. We finna go home. Let me go and put this bug in their ear now. That way, when we get home, hell, maybe they swallow their whistle a little bit and give us a chance. Yeah. Maybe we get a little cooking. Maybe we get some of our cooking. Maybe we. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who's gonna be the officials. I mean, maybe Sean Wright, maybe Courtney Kirkland.
Those were
maybe
bad
James
officials. I'm telling y'all. Those were bad officials in that game.
maybe Capers. I don't know.
Hey, maybe you might need to go to the game for a little good luck.
Check this out. Austin Reeves on the interaction with the ref. I felt like I was respectful to all of them all night. A million times in the past, I've had a way worse stuff. And when we're doing the whole tip ball and they're switching spots, I wanted to get to the other side because I had the guy on the other side. I was just trying to keep an advantage. And he turns around and yelled in my face. I thought it was disrespectful. The whole time I was going over there, and I don't think I said too much to them. I know Ben Taylor stepped in and said something, but at the end of the day, we're grown men, and I just didn't feel like he needed to yell in my face like that, and I told him that. I wasn't disrespectful. I told him that he didn't need to do that. I did that to him first. I would have gotten a tech.
That's a good
like
point. The ref yelling at him, like there needs to be a way you conduct yourself as a ref, and yelling at the athlete, unless they were instigating something, there's no reason for that.
I didn't get a tech was because he knew he was in the wrong, and I felt disrespected. Yeah, that happens. Look, the refs, they give some guys passes, bro. Yeah, some guys, they'll take your ass right away. You
Quick.
know, with the quickness. They don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Some players, they feel like,
Y'all remember that
you know,
one play? This happened this past season, but it was the Colts. I'm trying to think of the wide receiver it happened to. But he accidentally, I can't remember what he did, touched the ref, or no, he was having a conversation. This was what it was. He was just having a conversation. He patted the ref on his shoulder. Like, it wasn't nothing serious. That ref threw him out the game, y'all. I was like, what? What is going on? I thought that was a little dramatic, because, I mean, the ref had to have known he didn't mean nothing by it. But they took him right out that game. And I was like, this is crazy.
We even got no right to even be speaking to me. Yeah. Yeah, the refs be like that from time. So, because you got some of them guys, Joe, they've been in this thing 15, 20 years. Bro, you just got here yesterday. And how you feel? First of all, why you walking up to me? Are you just because you see those vets walk up to me and we have a conversation? I ain't talking to your punk ass. Yeah, I talk to him, but not you. Like, my face before
Hey, Joe, my favorite clips, Uncle Joe, is to see Chris Paul with his funny mannerisms.
Oh yeah,
and see Chris Paul get teched up. Dog, it'd be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk about this one play that happened. Well, this one call. Well, no call, I should say.
And that's Tony Brothers. Tony Brothers be like that. He don't. He don't take a lot from these cats, bro. Yeah.
He don't.
When I go to the I mean, because I know, Zach and some of them guys. I know a lot of them. Yeah. So I've been to enough games, and so obviously, Sean Wright. I used to work out with Sean Wright. But shit, Tony Brothers will cuss you out. Quick. Yeah, Tony slick with her. Man, what? And tell you, hey, man, what you want to do? I'm telling you, bro. He that time seen it. I'm telling you. Hey, Joe. Hey, if I was a fish, I'm like, don't make me bring it together now. If I bring them together, it's gonna be trouble.
All right, y'all, come on, talk about that one play.
Try to tell you, get up your face. Get up. Hey. If I put your hands together, it's gonna be trouble. Yeah, they act like that sometimes, bro. You get to, hey, look, that's why I can't remember the ref name who CP hate when he refs his game. Scott Foster. Yeah, Scott Foster.
Hey, boy, them two going at it so funny, boy.
Hey, yeah, CP got a bunch of antics against him, bro. But I seen it up close in person, man. And when you watch it, when you really know what's going on and you watch it, you start to be like, damn, they might do have a little something between them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're human, bro. And look, there's no love lost between Scott Foster and Chris Paul. At some point in time, and you can say it's nothing, X, Y, and Z, but it is. Because I know how you feel about me, and this ain't no one-way street, bro. No, sir. It ain't one way. It's what goes both ways. This 2-lane traffic. Going both ways. Yeah. I don't like your ass either.
I gotta clip that. I don't like your ASS either. I need to clip that. That was funny.
No, but at the end of the day, you can't do that. I'm the one that got the whistle. Hello. Hey. Yeah. And I'm really, right. Number 3. Take it to the showers. Every time. Me ain't taking too much, boy. Hey. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, and they didn't play with Joey Crawford. Crawford, Hugh Hollins. Now, Dick Bavetta was a little lean. Dick Bavetta, he got along with everybody. Dick was cool. Yeah. But Hugh Hollins and Joey Crawford, one playing. Man, you remember, Joey Crawford sent Timmy to the locker room. Hey, he called a tech on him. And he was on the bench laughing. Yeah. Timmy was like, yeah. Timmy looked around like, me? Huh? Yeah. I think David Stern suspended him for a game too, though. Yeah, because it seemed like it gets a little personal. Yeah, for them refs, bro, and it ain't never supposed to be personal with them. Nah, but as a player, you can kind of sense that. You can feel that energy. You know what I mean? Especially in the game, it's like, damn, you letting them be extra aggressive with me today, ain't you? Yeah, I'm feeling some type of way. Really? Yeah. You normally the superstars always got calls. Jordan got him, Magic got him, especially guys that drove the basketball. Kobe, Mike, LeBron in his prime. I mean, guys like LeBron and Shaq really never got officiated because they're so damn big. They're like, how we literally just called the game. I mean, the game would be 5 hours long if we officiated Shaq properly.
Yeah.
The guys beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
I don't think when Dr. Naismith invented the game of basketball, I don't think he envisioned having a guy 7'1", 325
Hell no.
playing the game.
Hell no. And then
So what do you do? Is it because when Shaq does this, them bowling pins, everybody going down.
yeah,
Oh, that
you
makes me
got to
think.
call.
I need to find those clips. Have you all seen the ones where if Shaq goes down, like if he goes into the stands or the seats, everybody gets out of the way. But some of those fans, they took hits from Shaq whenever he came down trying to make a play to get the ball. Those are hilarious.
All that, man. I don't give a damn how you cut it. You leave with them elbows. They calling
Now
that,
this
bro,
is
'cause
what I wanted him to get into, is that play with the elbow, y'all. That was like the most questionable no call I've ever seen.
Yeah, you hitting above the shoulder. That's in the neck, chin, the back of the head. Like, they calling that.
And what about Dikembe? Rest his soul with them sharp ass elbows. He can't cut people up.
Hey,
But
and then, you know, when they came out with the verticality, where you could just go straight up,
yes.
and you can hit somebody body to body as long as you vertical.
Yeah.
I think that changed the game too, Uncle Ocho, because a lot of that contact, and it may be initiated by the offensive guy, but they don't call that often.
No.
Right. You know what I'm
And
saying?
this is what me and D-Money, shout out D-Money, this is what me and him were talking about last night in his live whenever he was gaming.
And I think that's what they try to get. They try to get DA and they try to get Jackson. Hey, just go vertical. Don't come. Long as you don't come forward with it, you're gonna be fine. Just elevate.
Stay vertical, y'all. But man, that game was interesting. And the refs, like I said, those refs were questionable. Everybody knew it. But shout out Pooh Man. We got Pooh Man in the building. And we got 3 a.m. in the building. Let me go to my drops here. Oh yeah, and we got Tiffany now too. Shout out Tiffany. Okay. Let's see. Go back up here to Pooh Man. Because Pooh Man let me know some exciting news. He said that I'm at 341 subscribers. I have to update my sub goal again. I just updated it and we already grew, so shout out to that. But Pooh Man, always good to have you here. Greatest mod in the YouTube streets, as I like to say. So shout out to Pooh Man for showing up. Let's see. Here we go.
Rolex wearing. Woo! Diamond ring wearing. Woo! Kiss stealing. Woo! Wheeling dealing. Woo! Limousine ride. Woo! Jet flying. Woo! Sucking on a gun. Woo! And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. They give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo!
Shout out to Pooh Man in the building. And we have, let's see, don't want to skip nobody, 3 a.m. Shout out to 3 a.m. in the building. Let's see here. Find your drop now, 3 a.m. Shout out to you, 3 a.m. And Tiffany, gotta play your drop. I don't know if I remember to play your drop yesterday, Tiffany, but shout out to you. And that's on anybody who says that Jalen Hurts is no fun or serious all the time. Come on now. You ain't with him 24/7. You don't know nothing. Stop trying to act like you know what this man's like. Alright, back to it. Linda! Good to have you back, Linda. Always good seeing you. What is up? Let's see if I can get your chat pulled up here. There we go. Shout out to Linda in the building. Alright, now let's get into this Russell Wilson video that Derek sent me. Shout out to Derek.
Paid $85 million just to make a quarterback go away. And that quarterback's name was Russell Wilson. That stood as the largest dead cap hit in the history of the NFL for a few seasons, and the check went to a guy who finished 11-19 over 2 years. He never touched the playoffs and somehow turned into a national meme before he even took a snap in a real game for them. We're going to break down every piece of this mess, from the Seattle fallout that nobody really explained, to the blockbuster trade and the 2 years of pure chaos that followed. Before we look at the wreckage in Denver, we have to look at Russell Wilson's entire career at that point, because the revisionist history on his career is insane. Some fans want to act like he was never actually elite, but they're just wrong. Russ made 9 Pro Bowls in 10 seasons with Seattle and walked away with a Super Bowl ring. He actually piled up more wins through his first 10 seasons than any other quarterback in the history of the league. When you look at his prime, it showed a player
There
who
ain't no
could do things
denying. Russell Wilson in his prime was a beast, y'all. There's no denying that.
most guys simply couldn't. He would scramble to extend plays until a lane opened up downfield, buying time with his feet before launching a 50-yard bomb that landed right in the bucket. He won games with the defense-first roster and often dealt with minimal offensive support, yet he kept winning anyway. The eye test on prime Russell Wilson was easy because the man was just special. The real question was never about his talent, but whether the relationship with the Seattle Seahawks could actually be saved. By the time 2021 rolled around, the answer was a clear no. That season, a finger injury created the first visible crack in the foundation. He missed games for the first time in his
Y'all,
career.
those are the most common, one of the top common injuries for a quarterback is when an offensive lineman, makes a play, or offensive lineman, listen to me. When a defensive lineman makes a play and reaches out to block a pass, and that hand goes down on the quarterback's finger, yep, it's a wrap.
When he returned, finishing the year 6-8 with a team that was clearly heading toward a transition. While the on-field struggle was obvious, reports from The Athletic later claimed that Wilson actually went to Seahawks ownership to push for the firing of Pete Carroll and John Schneider. Wilson denied those claims on social media, tweeting that he loved Pete and John, but the organization had already started planning a future without him. There's one specific detail from 2018 that tells you everything you need
Shout
to know
out.
about how bad
Pinball in the building, Pinball. What's up? I'll play your drop in a second, okay?
things had become. Seahawks GM John Schneider showed up at Josh Allen's pro day in Wyoming, and as soon as Wilson's camp found out, they called the team to demand answers. Schneider had been totally open about being there, even talking about it on the radio. But Russ's people wanted to know why their GM was scouting a top 5 quarterback prospect. That single phone call shows the dynamic perfectly. Seattle was exploring their options while Wilson's camp watched every move. And the truth is that neither side trusted the other anymore. When Wilson's agent finally leaked a list of 4 teams he would accept a trade to, the situation was officially over. The Broncos just didn't realize they were the ones about to pay the price. In March of 2022, the Denver Broncos decided they were done waiting for a savior and decided to swing for the fences.
Y'all, I will not forget the day the news broke that Russell Wilson was going to the Broncos. And at this point, I had already thought, okay, he's at the end of his career. He should probably retire. This is where my headspace was at with that. Well, found out he's going to the Broncos. And I went to a theme park. And there just happened to be a Broncos fan. If y'all know me, if I see somebody in some sort of sports gear or anything like that, I'm gonna say something. Yeah, I am. That's just how, that's in my nature. If y'all want to get me talking, quickest way is, have a sports logo on, because I'm gonna say something to you. Well, this guy, he was a Broncos fan, and I said something to him. And I, got to ask him, I'm like, do you think it's going to work out with Russell Wilson at the Broncos? And he's like, man, I hope so. And I'm like, I'm questioning it because I just don't know. I feel like he's at the end of his career. So that was that. Well, I ended up being right, y'all. I was like, man, if that ain't something, I was just like, I don't know if Russell Wilson is it right now. And we all seen how that played out.
I remember exactly where I was, because I was at like this vegan restaurant with my mom or something like that, and I remember looking on Twitter because
a vegan restaurant. Shout out Highway 20 Skinny, Highway 20. If you ear hustling, I found you a vegan friend. Although you're just a wannabe vegan, you're not a true vegan. What do you say? I can't remember what you classify yourself as. You said something about I'll eat fish occasionally or something like that. I'm like, you ain't no vegetarian. Quit telling people you a vegetarian. You a pescatarian. Shout out Highway 20.
My God. And then everybody looked at me. And I said, Russell Wilson got traded. And then nobody cared. And I realized I wasn't in the right place, and I never went back to that restaurant ever again. The Broncos sent over 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-rounder, and 3 established players in Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, and Noah Fant. What they got back was Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick that eventually turned into nothing at all. When you look at the math, Denver traded 5 draft picks and 3 starters for a single quarterback, which is the kind of move that either builds a statue or gets everyone fired. The thing is, almost everyone
Shut
in the
up
league
being
thought
a
this.
pescatarian. Okay, I'm cool if you're a pescatarian, right? That's okay to me. Vegetarian, I just feel like that's so dangerous for your health. I do. Especially, well, I was gonna say especially women, but for men too. Like, people don't realize how much protein you have to consume to even reach that goal. And it's difficult to do off of beans and what else do they eat? Beans and tofu, I guess. I don't know. But it's very difficult to achieve that goal. Like, you have to consume a lot. And I think there's only like 6 grams of protein average with a can of beans. So, depending on your weight and what your protein goal needs to be, it's just very difficult to achieve that off of beans. That's all I'm going to say.
Made perfect sense, including myself at the time. Denver's Super Bowl odds shifted from 25 to 1 to 12 to 1 the moment the news broke, and sports media outlets were handing out A grades like they were participation trophies. The city was buzzing because the logic behind the move actually held up under the microscope. The Broncos already had a top-tier defense and a receiving core featuring Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, not to mention a young star and running back Javonte Williams. Since Peyton Manning retired after the 2015 season, the only thing this roster lacked was a high-level quarterback to steer the ship.
Elsie, you
Front
said,
office had
now
spent
I eat all meat. Pause. Same. I eat all meat, but I feel like if I could do anything, I could be a pescatarian because I love fish. I love fish. So I feel like if I was to do anything, I could be a pescatarian because fish has great protein, very nutritious, your omega-3s, all of that, right? So I think I could be a pescatarian if anything, but I love my meat. Pause on that.
7 years trapped in quarterback purgatory while cycling through names like Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Case Keenum, and Joe Flacco. None of those guys could hold the job for long, so when a 9-time Pro Bowler with a ring comes available, George Payton didn't blink before pulling the trigger. You can actually defend the trade itself because it was an aggressive play for a roster that looked like it was ready to win right now. The draft capital was expensive, but the window was open and the team needed a leader who had been to the mountaintop before. What you cannot defend, however, is the massive mistake Peyton made immediately after the trade was finalized. Russ still had a full 2 years left on his existing contract from Seattle, which gave Denver plenty of time to see how he fit the system. The patient move would have been to let him play a season, evaluate the product on the field, and then talk about a long-term deal. Instead, the team handed him a 5-year extension worth $245 million.
And that was plain stupid of them to do that off of an athlete who is near the end of the career, and you already guaranteed him 5 years and that much money. Insane to me. Usually, at this point in time, you're just giving these athletes 1-year deals. We've talked about this before. But to give him a 5-year deal and that much money, stupid. Actually, you know what? We got a clip for that, right? We got a clip for that over here. Hold on.
How? Hold on, bro. How? How you? I'm saying, how? Like, talk to me, bro.
You dum-dums.
That's how we feel about that.
Even before the first kickoff, the Broncos country, let's ride, press conference started making the rounds for all the wrong reasons. Wilson brought this high-energy, performative vibe to the podium that only works if you're winning games every Sunday. Shout out Jalen Hurts. Fans thought it was charming or maybe just a bit quirky at first, but it quickly turned into a meme that defined one of the worst stretches in the history of the franchise. The defense was doing its part with Pat Surtain and an insane pass rush, but all that talent on defense was wasted because the offense couldn't
Shout
move the
out
ball.
TS2, aka Patrick Surtain, Roll Tide.
When Denver hired Nathaniel Hackett in January 2022, they were taking a massive gamble on a guy who had never been a head coach before. He had a great reputation as an offensive coordinator in Green Bay, but calling plays for Aaron Rodgers is a world away from running an entire NFL organization. GM George Payton brought him in anyway, mostly because Hackett had a great relationship with Wilson and was supposed to be a brilliant offensive mind. The plan was for Nat Hackett to build a custom system that let the quarterback cook while the defense shut down the rest of the league. The reality was that Hackett...
Pooh Man, you said, Chelsea, they tried to redo what they did with Peyton Manning. Did they offer Peyton Manning? I'm trying to think, because, okay, so with the Colts, whenever Peyton Manning was pushed out after that neck, I think it was a neck injury, they thought, his career is probably over with, so he got pushed out. Well, then he ended up coming back and went with the Broncos, but did they offer him? I thought they just offered him a 1-year deal. I feel like they didn't give him, an extension. Now, after the Super Bowl win, they did offer him, I do know this for sure, after the Super Bowl win, so maybe it was a 1-year deal, now that I think about it. Maybe it was just a 1-year deal for Peyton Manning, because I do know that after he won the Super Bowl, they tried to get him to come back, but he was done. He was going to retire.
essentially handed Wilson the keys to the entire building and never bothered to ask for them back. Reports started leaking about a very weird dynamic where their head coach deferred to the quarterback on almost every major offensive decision. Russ's personal support staff was given access to the facility in a way that rubbed veteran players the wrong way and undermined the coaching staff's authority. Everything came to a head in Week 1 when Wilson returned to Seattle to face his old team in front of a hostile crowd. The game was a tight struggle that came down to the final minute, and that's when Hackett made a decision that will live in coaching infamy forever. Nat Hackett chose to kick a 64-yard field goal instead of letting his $245 million quarterback try to pick up 5 yards. Brandon McManus missed the kick and Denver lost. And Peyton Manning and Shannon Sharp looked absolutely horrified while watching from the
Man, I
handicap.
remember that game too. That was funny. I say it was funny, but I guess it was heartbreaking for them. But it was funny to me because I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Set the tone for a season where the offense looked completely broken and out of sync. Russ finished the year with a career-high 55 sacks and a dismal 84.4 passer rating, while the offense as a whole finished dead last in the league in scoring. Things got so bad at Mile High that fans started loudly chanting the play clock because the team kept getting hit
Now,
with games.
you know who struggled with that? Dak Prescott, when we had Mike McCarthy. Y'all, I've talked about this before. I did not want Mike McCarthy as a head coach off of, what happened with him at Green Bay. And I just thought he was going to try to repeat what he did at Green Bay and try to redeem himself using the Dallas Cowboys, and clearly that didn't work out. But the delay of games that we got, I was so ticked off.
At one point in the season, Denver actually had the best scoring defense in the NFL and the worst scoring offense at the exact same time. The worst Thursday night football game also happened during this season, but the lowest point of the entire year didn't even happen during a play, but rather on the sideline during a game. Defensive lineman Mike Purcell was caught by cameras screaming directly into Wilson's face while the quarterback just stood there and took it. You didn't need a microphone to know that the defense was fed up with an offense that couldn't score a touchdown to save their lives. It wasn't just a heated moment between teammates, it was the visual proof that the locker room had stopped believing in their leader. Nat Hackett didn't even make it through their first full year before the front office fired him after just 15 games. He left with a 4-11 record, making his stay the shortest non-interim coaching tenure
He's
in
just
the long history
one of those guys that's probably better off being a coordinator.
The Denver Broncos. After a humiliating 51-14 loss to the Rams on Christmas Day, the team realized they had to do something drastic to save their investment. They decided the only answer was to go get Sean Payton, but that move was going to cost them even more than what they
I thought
lost.
Sean Payton, now I know, what do they call that? They call it something gate after he was accused of telling his athletes to go out and injure other players, and he got in trouble for that. Didn't he have to sit out a year or something like that? I can't remember. But say what you want about Sean Payton. I think he's still a brilliant coach. I wanted him, to be honest with y'all, I wanted him at the Cowboys because he's familiar with Dallas, has a track record of building up teams. I really like his style. I thought he'd be a good fit. But you know what? We could never get a coach like Sean Payton because of Jerry Jones. Y'all, I thought, let me skip through this ad here.
To save their investment. They decided the only answer was to go get Sean Payton, but that move was going to cost them even more than
I
what
thought
they
I
had
skipped it. Maybe I didn't. Okay, there we go.
Fix for the Denver Broncos at all. To even get the Saints to let him out of his contract, Denver had to cough up a first-round pick, which came right on top of a massive fall of talent and picks they had already shipped off to Seattle for Russell Wilson. The front office was essentially burning fresh draft capital to try and salvage the wreckage from the last time they burned draft capital. But if you're looking at a coach to fix a problem for a quarterback, Peyton was the gold standard. He had spent over a decade turning Drew Brees into a first-ballot Hall of Famer, and his understanding of offensive spacing was light years beyond anything that Hackett had shown. From the second he stepped into the facility, Peyton made it clear that the old way of doing things was over. The most immediate change involved Wilson's personal team of private coaches and trainers who had been given free roam access to the building under the previous staff. During his first press conference, Sean didn't mince words when he told reporters that having outside staff in the facility was foreign to him, and he wouldn't allow that to be happening on his watch. This wasn't just a change in policy, it was a public shot across the globe before the team.
Tiffany. Now, if that's true, if there are, like, cases where you could prove that he is, you know, a racist, I can't do it. That's one thing that is just, I told you all my pet peeves. So, hypocritical double standards, racism, and I would say misogynists, those are probably my 3 pet peeves. Now, I ain't no hardcore, like, feminist or anything like that, but if you try to downgrade women and disrespect them and act like their opinions don't matter or they're irrelevant, I ain't with all that.
Had even put pads on for training camp. John was intentionally drawing a line in the sand to separate his professional operation from the player-centric circus he had inherited. For a brief window in early 2023, it actually looked like
Oh, Tiffany, trust me, I'm gonna go research that because I ain't gonna let that slide. I'm over here talking about, like, you know, positive things about Sean Payton, but he ain't about to have me up here acting a fool, not knowing the other side of him, because as soon as I find out, that it's over with. I will no longer be a fan of you.
Started the year with 26 touchdowns against only 8 interceptions. The team even managed to string together a 5-game winning streak.
And y'all, I trust Tiffany's opinion, let me tell you. I trust Tiffany. Tiffany, me and her, like-minded. She's with it when it comes to her knowledge on sports. I really value Tiffany's opinion, y'all. So I know she ain't capping on this, okay?
Denver felt like it could finally breathe again. However, the Week 3 nightmare against the Miami Dolphins stayed in the back of everyone's mind like a dark cloud. Miami hung 70 on the Broncos in a single afternoon, and seeing a professional NFL defense give up 10 touchdowns in 60 minutes was a pretty historic embarrassment. While the scoreboard reflected a defensive collapse, the loss exposed just how thin the roster actually really was under the surface. You simply can't give up 70 points in a regular season game and pretend the foundation of your team is solid. As the season went on, the game started to tell a much more frustrating story than the box score suggested. Wilson had spent his entire career playing a very specific style of football that relied on deep shots and sideline throws while almost completely ignoring the middle of the field. Peyton's
And
system
y'all,
required
this
the
is the
exact opposite.
criticism that they're trying to make on Jalen Hurts. They're trying to say, like, he can't throw in the middle of the field or he won't take those shots. Y'all, I don't believe that. And even, okay, so let's just say even if that was to be true, what's wrong with him wanting to be smart with the football? He doesn't want to force turnovers. He's reading the field. Like, I trust Jalen Hurts with his decision making, right? But this is the argument they're trying to make with Jalen Hurts, that he won't take shots in the middle of the field. I ain't buying that.
Demanding a point guard who could process reads quickly and hit the check down to keep the chains moving. The film sessions reportedly became a repetitive loop of missed opportunities where open receivers over the middle were ignored.
You know what? Now that I
Wilson
think
had
about
the
it,
ball
I
too
need to
long.
find a ton of plays where Jalen Hurts has through the middle of the field. I need to find those plays, clip them up, because I need to cover that now that I think about it. Hopefully I don't forget.
Waiting for a miracle. Sean had promised to build the offense around what Wilson did best, but by the middle of the season, his patience with that approach was clearly running out. The relationship finally hit the point of no return during the Week 9 bye. Denver's front office approached Wilson's camp about moving the vesting date on a $37 million injury guarantee that was scheduled to lock in the following March. They wanted more time to decide if he was their long-term guy, but Russ claimed that the team threatened to bench him if he didn't waive that financial protection. He stood his ground and refused to budge. While the Broncos tried to frame it as a standard business negotiation, Russ walked away feeling like the team had already decided he was a disposable asset. Peyton finally pulled the plug. With 2 games left and the playoffs out of reach, Wilson was forced to watch from the sidelines while Jared Stidham took over the offense. While
Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, they went at it, y'all. They went at it. They had a Twitter feud, I think. I'll have to try to find that. But they had a feud. Russell Wilson made a post taking shots at Sean Payton, and then Sean Payton came back in the media and said something back. It was good, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, it was funny.
Wilson's camp saw it as a move driven by the contract dispute. In the end, the why didn't really matter because the result was a total disaster. A QB who cost $245 million was sitting on the bench, and the franchise that gave up its entire future to get him was now staring at the consequences. In March of 2024, the Denver Broncos officially told Russell Wilson his time in Denver was over. The final tally for the trade was 2 seasons, 11 wins, 19 losses, and 0 trips to the postseason. Because of the way his massive contract extension was written, cutting him didn't actually save the team money in the short term. In fact, it created a financial hole so deep it threatened to swallow the entire
And you know
organization.
what? Shout out the Broncos, because they came a long, well, not a long way. And I wouldn't even say they came a long way. But in a short amount of time, considering the hole that they dug themselves in, they were smart. They were smart with their decision making, because they were able to be, playoff, what would you say, playoff contingents. So, I mean, it was impressive. They almost made it to a Super Bowl. But obviously, we know what happened with Bo Nix.
The team was forced to swallow an $85 million debt
Yeah,
cap.
Couch, you did. I know y'all, Couch. He is not a Broncos fan. He does not like the Broncos, even though he's in Colorado. He can't stand the Broncos. But shout out to you, Couch. I'll play your drop in a minute. I'm also going to play Pinballs. After this video's over, I'll play Pinball's drop, and I'll play Couch's drop.
They decided to split into $53 million in 2024 and $32 million in 2025. To put those numbers into perspective, the Broncos were paying more than 20% of their total salary cap to a guy playing now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. While rookie Bo Nix was trying to learn the playbook on a cheap contract, the front office was writing a $53 million check to the man he replaced. This wasn't just a bad move by the front office, it was a total financial catastrophe that limited every single roster move the team could make for 2 straight years. Wilson eventually signed a 1-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks for the league minimum. The same player who had just pocketed $124 million from Denver was essentially working for free by NFL standards just a few months later. It was a jarring reminder of how fast the league moves, as his market value completely evaporated once he no longer had guaranteed money backing him up. When Wilson posted his goodbye message to Denver, the omission spoke much louder than the words on the page.
Yes, Couch is from California, but he is living in Colorado. He ditched California. He couldn't stand California and went to Colorado. So, living that Colorado life, even though he don't like the Broncos.
He made sure to thank his teammates, the fans, the cafeteria staff, and the player development VP by name. However, Sean Payton and George Payton were nowhere to be found on the statement, and the ownership group didn't get a mention either. You could call it a classy exit, but it was clearly a calculated move by a man who knew exactly who he wanted to snub on his way out the door. The contrast between the two teams involved in the trade only got sharper once the dust settled. Geno Smith took over the starting job in Seattle immediately.
Geno did good starting at Seattle. People forget, I feel like, that Geno was actually good starting at Seattle.
During Wilson's first season in Denver. It's wild to think that the journeyman backup the Seattle Seahawks used as a bridge ended up having a career year while Wilson was hitting rock bottom. Seattle didn't just survive the trade, they thrived without him. Even worse for Denver was what Seattle did with all those extra draft picks, drafting left tackle Charles Cross and pass rusher Boye Mafe to anchor the lines. They added Kenneth Walker at running back and found a superstar corner in Devon Witherspoon, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 3 seasons. Then there was Jackson Smith-Njigba, who led the league in receiving in 2025 and took home Offensive Player of the Year. Those 5 players became the heart of a Seattle roster that eventually marched their way and won their way in the Super Bowl. Denver didn't just lose the trade,
And
they
y'all
literally
know who
paid
else
for the
they
championship.
got? DeMarcus Lawrence from Dallas Cowboys. And they won a Super Bowl. And he told him at the start of the season, he said, and I have it in my intro clip, but DeMarcus Lawrence said, I know I ain't going to win a Super Bowl there, talking about the Dallas Cowboys, so we here, talking about how he went to, or, was now at Seattle. He was right, and I knew he would be right. I said that's the best decision for him if he wanted to win a Super Bowl, was to leave Dallas.
Run of the team that fleeced them. When you add up the total damage, the Russell Wilson era cost Denver 2 first-round picks, 2 seconds, a fifth, 3 veteran players, and another first-round pick for Sean Payton. On top of the picks, they paid out $124 million in cash and still owe $85 million in dead cap space. All of that for 2 years of losing football in a locker room that never seemed to fully get behind their leader. The Broncos were left standing in the ruins of the biggest trade in NFL history, with almost no resources left.
Y'all would think that this would sink the ship with the Broncos and that they would put themselves in a position like the Jets or Miami, but no. They made smart moves and came back from it.
Mother's Day is coming up, and if you want to get the mom in your life something,
I'm gonna skip the ads, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna skip this ad. Let's see. Let me fast forward here. There we go.
The story takes a genuinely strange turn here because the Broncos didn't actually collapse. They rebuilt the roster, and you could argue they did a better job than they ever would have if the Russell Wilson trade never happened in the first place. The Walter Penner Group closed on their $4.65 billion purchase of the team in August of 2022, which was just 6 months after the trade.
They sold the Broncos. I thought that was going to be another thing. Now I remember. I thought that was going to be another thing that would hurt the Broncos is not only did they lose money with Russell Wilson, but then they also had new owners coming in. I just thought it was going to be a hot mess for a long time, like I said, with Jets and Miami, but no.
And they made it clear from day one that nobody was allowed to use dead money as an excuse for losing. Greg Penner, one of the owners, told everyone that his only job was putting the best football team on the field every single year, regardless of the financial constraints. It sounds great in a press conference, but trying to compete while living inside a $53 million cap hit is a completely different animal. They decided to do it anyway. The defense basically carried the entire organization during those 2 years of massive dead cap hits. Pat Surtain had already proven he was the best corner in the league, and by the time 2025 rolled around, he had won Defensive Player of the Year in 2024. Nick Bonito also stepped up that same season to lead the entire NFL in sacks. The Broncos had quietly put together one of the most suffocating defenses in the AFC, while the offense was still trying to find its identity, and that unit kept them in games when the cap situation meant they couldn't afford any big names in free agency. The offense found their answer in the 2024 draft. Denver would select Bo Nix 12th overall.
Now, shout out Bo Nix. Bo Nix, for those of you who are not familiar with college football, he actually started at Auburn, I think. He was at Auburn, transferred to Oregon, and then he was under Dan Lanning. Shout out Dan Lanning.
Peyton was the one who pushed the hardest for Nix behind the scenes, and the young quarterback rewarded that faith immediately. He finished his first year with 29 touchdown passes, which is the second highest total for a rookie in the history of the NFL.
I would say one quarterback that I had questions for was Bo Nix, because he didn't, I mean, he was great, right? But there's just a lot of question marks that I had for him, and I just didn't want him to be similar to Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson, if y'all are not familiar with him, I think he played at BYU, and then he got drafted to the Jets, and that tanked. So then he was on various teams. I think he was actually a backup at the Broncos for a while. Then I think he went to Miami. He's just been in a backup role ever since. But I didn't know how it was going to go with Bo Nix, because I kind of compared the two. I was like, he kind of is similar to a Zach Wilson.
Offense had been a national punchline for 2 straight years, but suddenly they had a guy who could process the field quickly and run the system at the exact speed Peyton wanted. While Wilson's final year in Denver forced him to pay $22 million just for him to be on the active roster.
Them saying Russell, like talking about Russell Wilson, Zach Wilson, let me make sure that was his name, because I don't want it to be confused with another one. No, okay, I had it right. It's Zach Wilson. I thought so.
Nix played for a tiny fraction of that price and actually played better football. That massive gap between cheap rookie contract and high-level production is the most valuable thing you can have in the modern NFL, and Broncos finally had it. Every single dollar they saved on Nix went right back into the rest of the team. They were handing out massive guarantees to their core players at the exact same time they were eating $85 million in dead cap money from the Russell Wilson deal. Denver finally ended an 8-year playoff drought in 2024 before turning around and going 14-3 the following year. They won the AFC West and fought their way all the way to the AFC Championship game. The same franchise that was a league-wide warning sign just 3 years earlier had transformed into one of the best run teams in the entire conference. If an older version of Wilson had stayed in Denver on his original Seattle contract, he would have cost over $50 million a year well into his late 30s. That kind of window slammed shut quickly, but the window for Nix is just starting to open. The big takeaway here isn't that you should never trade for a veteran QB. The real lesson is that the contract you sign the second a player arrives before he even takes a snap or fits into the locker room is the decision that dictates your entire future.
And this is why when these are older players, like I've told you all before, I don't worry so much about injuries anymore just because of the advancements of sports medicine and physical therapy. I don't really worry about that as much as I do your age and the position you're playing. And for a quarterback, I look at how many times were they sacked? Did they have injuries in the same reoccurring, body location? what else do I look at? I look at, did I say your age next? So I look at those things for a quarterback. But if, you know, you've had great protection, you stayed relatively healthy, you didn't have reoccurring injuries, you had great, you know, great medical team, sports medical team. The only factor I put into it is your age, because I feel like that's where you just need a 1-year deal contract at that point, because you're getting closer to making a decision to retire at that point. But I don't know why the Broncos did that. But, you know, shout out to the Broncos. They ended up making it work. But we're going to get into more Russell Wilson. And shout out to Derek. Again, Derek, he sent me this in the Discord, so shout out to Derek for that. But let me go ahead and go to the drops, because I have drops for Pinball. Shout out to Pinball. Let me find your name again. Hopefully it's still up there. I got to talking and I don't know if I can find your chat now. But shout out to Pinball who showed up. Yeah, I think the chat moved, so I can't find it now. But shout out to Pinball. I know you showed up, so let me play your drop. Shout out to Pinball, CDL gang. And speaking of CDL gang, I have a drop for the CDL gang.
Hey, boy, do it to it.
Shout out to the CDL gang. Okay, and let's see. We have Couch in the building. Shout out to From the Black Couch. Actually, technically, it's now Black Couch X, but I still say From the Black Couch. It's a habit. I'll try to break it. I'll try to break the habit. But shout out to you for being here. Logan, what is up? Logan, good to see you here. I don't know. I need a drop for you. Send me, Logan, you're on my Instagram. So send me a drop for the Eagles that you would want. Because I don't know if I have a drop for you. But since you're on my Instagram, you could just send me a drop from the Eagles that you would want for yourself. Alright, shout out to you though. Yeah, okay. And I played 3 a.m.s. Okay. Making sure I covered everybody. Covered all my bases here. Back to the other clip I have. This is an update on Russell Wilson, y'all, because he did get an offer from the Jets. I don't know what's going to happen. I need to look for an update on that, actually.
Football. Russell Wilson said the New York Jets offered him a contract, but he's weighing opportunities in television broadcasting. Fellas, I think Russ would actually be amazing on the broadcast. What would you do if
y'all,
you were Russell
if you go back, I can't remember if I said it on a live or if it's in a video, but I broke down the quarterback situation, who I thought was staying, who I thought was going, and who I thought would be retiring. So I said, Russell Wilson, just hang up your cleats. Hang up the cleats, buddy. Just hang them up and get into broadcasting. I think that needs to be the outcome here. After failed stunt with the Broncos, he did, decent with the Steelers. But then you're going to the Jets and it's questionable, another questionable team at the Jets. I just, why would you want to keep torturing yourself like that?
in this situation? Be a Jets quarterback or head to the booth?
All right, look, Prize Picks is America's #1
Man,
sports.
I hate when, y'all, they're getting smart. They're putting ads within the videos now. They're getting smart with it. I think Coop has talked about this too.
Spreadsheets, 30 states, including California. Free Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Russ got to go to the booth. He got to go to the booth because at the end of the day, the last 3 years of Russ's career have done nothing for his legacy. Maybe 4, T. We could probably go back to 2021 Denver. They've done nothing for his legacy. So if you're Russ, Denver year 1 did nothing good for you. Denver year 2 did nothing good for you. Pittsburgh had nominal good, but that was undermined by the
Shout
next
out
year
your
in New
average
York.
logical thinker, aka Mo Perspective. Shout out to you. Great live earlier. Always great wisdom you give. You give such great wisdom. It's such a fun time over there too. Just great conversation. It's not only, I'll say this, it's not only challenging, because you challenge me at times. Well, not just me, but just, maybe others in the chat find what you say challenging. But personally for me, when I'm watching you, like, I feel challenged to grow in certain areas. And I love that. Like, you were talking about not letting the haters impact you to the point that's all you focus on, and that's your only driven motivation to accomplish things. That was so powerful. I was like, God, you knew I needed to hear that. And because sometimes I can get so caught up in it, and it's like, yeah, I don't need to be so caught up in that and let that only, be the reason why I'm motivated. So great words. Y'all go check out your average logical thinker, aka Mo Perspective.
The last 4 years done nothing for you.
I would say playing till the wheels fall off, because when it's over, it's over. Once he went to Denver, like Russell Wilson in Seattle was going to the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
Once
he
went to
could play it to the wheels fall off, but why would you want to go out like that? Why would you want to torture yourself? I don't see the point of that.
Denver, I think that just kind of has gone out the window. I don't think he has a chance to get into the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, dang. That's some power. That's powerful perspective there. He said he didn't think he has a chance to get into the Hall of Fame. Maybe, now that I think about it, maybe that's why he wants to continue to play, is he wants to try to build something to where he gets into the Hall of Fame. Wow. I didn't think about that.
When you really love playing the game, it's hard to kind of just walk away. But if
Couch,
you're Russell
I could see you in Texas. I think you would be a great fit in Texas. Texas would be the one for you. You might have to lose the Tesla. You might have to sell your Tesla. But, I feel like that would be a good fit for you. I don't know. I feel like they just hate Teslas everywhere, cuz I heard, like, there's a YouTuber I watch and she has a Tesla and people hate on her Tesla in California, y'all. They ain't liking the Tesla in California.
and you want one of these premier jobs, they don't come open often. And if one is open, if you get offered it, you got to take it. Because it ain't no telling, next year.
Who, man? That's what I was thinking. You said Russell doesn't seem like he has the personality for TV. I was thinking that too. I mean, granted, y'all, I don't know the man personally, right? I've never seen how he interacts with his kids, like the fun side. I've never seen, that side of him, right? But just going off of what I have seen, it's just like, I don't know. I've seen more out of Mike Tomlin than I have Russell Wilson personality-wise. Because, I told you about the funny clips with Mike Tomlin saying, if you blink, rip your eyelids off. And what else does he say? I'm here to tell you right now, we do not care. Things like that. I feel like he has more of a personality for it than, Russell Wilson. But I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have seen clips of him with his wife Sierra, the fun clips he makes with Sierra, so maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't be so, quick to think that he doesn't have the personality for it. Because if you look at his Instagram and you see the other side of him, maybe he could, be great at it. I don't know. We'll see.
That position will be open. And so if he can get a job in television that is something to his liking, you have to take it now. You played a long time. You made a ton of money. Him working in TV.
Couch, I cannot call him that. I can't call him that, okay? I can't do that. I gotta call, to be respectful to other people's teams, I have to call them by their name, the Broncos. But that's funny. You said, call him the Jack A-double-S's. That's funny.
He may enhance his Hall of Fame credentials.
Yeah. I think Russ is too famous to go into a season as a backup. He never has. I don't think he ever will. Too famous for it. He didn't go into New York as a backup. He didn't go into Pittsburgh as a backup.
But he's
didn't
played
go to Denver as a backup.
Technically like a backup now for the last.
Cool, man. Nah, I ain't paying for the premium. I already have YouTube TV, y'all. Okay, I got the sports channels. Okay, maybe once I grow on YouTube, I'll invest in YouTube Premium. But I heard from Smell the Roses. Shout out Smell the Roses. But I heard from her that they went up on the prices for YouTube Premium. So what I do, I just save the video, and then either way, I don't always want to play the full clip, right? Sometimes I just want to, play a part of it. So either way, I end up editing it. So I just save it and then edit what I want to play. And then if there's ads in it, I just clip it out. But, in this one, I didn't clip out the ads. But now they're making their own ads. Like, it's not just the YouTube ads. Like, the ones where you can skip. These people are putting ads in their own YouTube videos. So the Prize Pick one that they always play, that's their personal ad that they play within their video, their sponsor. So then I don't only have to clip out the YouTube ads, but I have to clip out their personal ads. It's frustrating. I've seen, who else does it? Media Man? I think Media Man does it. Is it Media Man? No, it's not Media Man. My apologies. It's not Media Man. It's mediocre. What's mediocre tutorials? Y'all know who I'm talking about. But he has ads within his videos. So, I mean, it's frustrating. I get it. They're just making money though.
That 1 year endeavor was not as bad as people make it seem.
26 touchdowns, 8 picks.
But the last few years.
But T, you can't be one. Let's talk the pride of it. You a married man. You can't be married to Sierra, going to the Met Gala in $20,000 outfits, and going and being a backup quarterback.
But that's
gross.
a position he's in, and that's why. If you can get one of these
positions.
What
up, Eagles Drew? Good to see you in the building. Finally caught one of your lives. Go Birds. Shout out to you. I'm a Dallas fan, but I don't mind. As many of y'all know, I don't mind the Eagles because I am a Roll Tide fan, Alabama fan. And they have Jalen Hurts, they have Landon Dickerson, and my favorite wide receiver, Slim Reaper, a.k.a. Devontae Smith. So I don't mind the Eagles.
You take it.
You got to take it. Because next year.
Mo, you said $15.99 for premium? Heck no. I want to say, did Smell the Roses say it went up to $20? I can't remember if Smell the Roses, I feel like she said it went up to $20. I'm like, I ain't paying for that. Maybe when I make it big on YouTube, y'all. Maybe when I'm up to Nightcaps level, I'll invest in YouTube Premium. I don't know. One thing about me is I play broke, y'all. I'm cheap. I'm very cheap. That's one reason why I don't like to eat out anymore, is because I'm like, I can spend all that on groceries. I ain't paying to go out to eat no more. And what else? Oh yeah, food delivery services. Not a fan of that either, because I'm just like, I can spend all that on groceries, getting it myself. So that's just me, y'all.
It may not be open.
Yeah.
Or are they just gonna fire somebody?
Yeah, you make room for Russell Wilson. I think it looks bad for his reputation. I think it's bad for his legacy, and it would have to be an ego blow. And Russell's one of the most incredible humans I've had the honor of meeting and knowing. But you're too famous to be a backup. You're too talented to be a backup. Your wife is too famous to be a backup. Imagine your wife Sierra going to games, and your pants clean. That's a disgusting look.
If you, I'm gonna take a break to say this. If y'all have a second account, or if y'all, refer me to somebody, tell them to subscribe right now because I'm so wanting to hear my new sound drop for when somebody subscribes. I added a new sound drop and I can't wait to hear it play. So if y'all have a second account or if, you can tell somebody, hey, go to subscribe to Chelsea real quick, that'd be great. Much appreciated to you. Okay? That's all.
Back up, she ain't going.
That's even worse.
I'm gonna stay at home today. I don't feel good.
Because your woman
That
won't be
just
able to
happened
brag
this
on
year.
you. But he didn't go into the season.
And I just don't think that's a good idea from the aspect of having a marriage with Sierra. Are you really going to have Sierra out there, like, supporting you as a backup QB? I don't think so. Quit playing, Russell Wilson. Quit playing. I feel like you should just retire.
Multiple games as a backup.
13 of them. Sorry, 14 of them as a backup.
The whole season.
Yeah.
But going into a season willingly, Kieran being a backup and being benched, that's
But
different.
if you go to the Jets, you don't think Russell in his heart of hearts think he can beat out Geno Smith?
No, you said let me sub on my troll account. Oh, that's funny.
He does.
So is he really going into the season as the backup? In his heart of hearts, he probably think he can beat Geno out. Matter of fact, Geno was my backup when we was in Seattle.
But then that's even nastier if the man who was your backup 5 years ago is now starting over you. That's disgusting. That's gross.
Or you're just older, and it's your last year in the league. To be fair though, let's be honest. I would much rather take a role in a broadcast booth than I would want to be quarterback of the New York Jets.
Too.
Just being in the Jet, if he was a starter, if he was a guaranteed starter, I'd want to be in the booth. The New York Jets have made some of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game look like absolute dog shit. Brett Favre.
It hasn't done it yet. Maybe it'll do it in a little bit. Let me make sure I have it on. Yeah, I have it on. It should do it at some point. Let's hope it does it, y'all. Let's hope it does it. I tested it out yesterday, so it should do it. Oh, but what I was saying is I like what Care Bear said here. So, I agree with him. The Jets really have made quarterbacks look like trash. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't want Zach Wilson going to the Jets. I hate seeing, y'all know one of my pet peeves for sports is seeing these rookie QBs get drafted to horrible teams. That's why I didn't want Ty Simpson going to Arizona.
You remember those Jets years? God awful. They had Aaron Rodgers run out there with the American flag, pop his Achilles after a down. The fact that we're sitting here talking about Mark Sanchez being the greatest Jets quarterback in the last 50 years, and he fumbled off of another man's ass. Bro, I would never want to be the Jets quarterback. Russell Wilson will be perfect in the booth. He has a personality that's almost perfect for television. God-fearing dude,
okay,
very
so
well
Care Bear
spoken.
is defending Russell Wilson. He's saying he does have the personality for it, so I'll take his word for it.
Excited to see him in the booth. Russ, for Christ's sake, it has not been good on the football field since 2022. Brother, you have a beautiful wife, beautiful family. You're a phenomenal father. Spend some more time with them. Get away from the football field. If you are to play again, just don't let it be with the New York Jets.
I agree
Please.
with Care Bear on this. And I even said in that one live or video, whatever I did, covering this, I said, for the love of all things pure and holy, Russell Wilson, just hang up your cleats. Just hang up your cleats, my guy. But a shout out to Derek for sending me that first video on Russell Wilson, so I could do a recap using that video leading up to what Speakeasy had to say. Y'all, I'm going to test this out because I haven't heard that noise pop up. I'm going to test it out. Let me go to my other account. Let's see. I'm going to subscribe, see if it does it. It's not popping up. Oh, maybe, y'all, maybe I need to refresh it. I don't know if I refreshed it since I did all that. Okay, I just refreshed it. Let's try it again. We'll see if it works now. Man, come on. Well, I'll fool with it later. Alright, moving on to the chat. Let me see what y'all had to say. Marcus, I need to get you a drop. But you said Russell Wilson needs to retire and he needs to take Aaron Rodgers with him. I'm glad you brought up Aaron Rodgers because we're going to get into Aaron Rodgers in a little bit. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is still great, y'all. I do. Like, I don't know why he's getting, well, I get it. I get why he gets so much hate. He's very controversial. A lot of people don't like him because of his personality. I get it. But y'all, let's not act like the man didn't ball out this past season. He did great. You know, beating the Ravens, like, that was a good game. Like, I ain't playing like Aaron Rodgers doesn't still have it. Okay, going to the Shefty report. Yeah, you know what, y'all? I can do something real quick. Let's see. Let me go to it real quick. Because I can force it to do a test on here. Let me play my CDT beats while I work on this. Y'all know we love CDT beats over here. Make sure you're subscribed to CDT beats. Man. Let's see, what's it under? Alright, might have to pause the music for a second. See if this works doing a test on it. Alright, here we go. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Did y'all hear it? Let me know if you heard that. That's the new one. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here, y'all. That's the new sound for when y'all subscribe to me. So make sure you subscribe. Let me know if y'all heard that, okay? What is up, Prince Bud? Happy Friday to you. Good to see you here. I'm gonna play it one more time, y'all, because I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Hope you all heard that. I'm going to make sure I copy the link for it. It says published. So I think I got it. All right, there we go. Sidetracked, y'all. F it, we do it live. F it, we do it live, right? Alright. Let me just add this real quick. Okay. I refreshed the link, so hopefully it'll start working. Now, let's move on to the Shefty report, because this is all the info that came out today on Pat McAfee.
With, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty.
What's going on, guys? Oh, gee. Yeah, right, okay.
Oh, baby, Shefty.
Where are you, Shefty? What do you got going on here, pal? You're under an umbrella of sort?
Yeah, I am in Florida right now. There's a Michigan event here. I guess a fundraising event through the Champion Circle. And they've got all these Michigan players, coaches, football program, basketball program, and there's a function tonight to raise money for the program. And so came down here emceeing a conversation out at a football event. I mean, I can show you the field. I'm off to the side right now. Otherwise, we would have had some surprise guests. But we are now in the shade, so that's a good thing, and happy to discuss football today. By the way, Pat, breaking news. It looks like the NFL and the NFLRA have reached an agreement. We should hear word of that fairly soon, but that's going to come down soon. The league will be able to avoid replacement officials, but there's some information going around right now that agreement has been reached, and I would imagine we're going to hear about that very shortly.
Y'all, Adam Schefter, while he was on Pat McAfee Live today, 3 reports came out that he got to release live during the show. I was like, man, this is crazy.
Thank you for the news, Shefties. You're at a Michigan Let's Fund a Better Football Team event happening down there in Florida for the Refs Association to ratify the vote. I believe the voting hours or window opened last night, because I thought we'd get an answer last night. I guess it was just a window opened. I don't know if it was via email to all of its members, but there was a window closing for when the vote ended. We didn't know when we were going to get a response on that. We thought if they went to a vote, that means they were going to approve it. You're saying they have. That is gigantic news. I don't think, especially with the number of eyes that are on the game now, with the amount of countries that are in on the game, the amount of gambling that's in on the game right now, what happened before with the replacement refs was an embarrassment to our sport, to our league, to everything. It could have ruined everything. And I know that the refs knew that, so the fact that they kind of bent and gave in,
And it's like I said to everybody. Everybody was freaking out over this ref thing, thinking that it was just going to be another one of those crises that happened with the Fail Mary. And I'm just like, nah, it'll get worked out. They gonna get it worked out. Sure enough, it's worked out now. Sounds like.
NFL is looking for, and the fact that the NFL did the same for the refs to make sure they get this done early, I think, here. This is a couple weeks early. Congrats to all parties, Shefty. Legit, that is huge for us as football fans. That is gigantic. And I don't think people really understand how big that really is at this state of time.
That's a huge deal, and they're able to avoid replacement officials, and they get the CBA done. And there obviously have been a lot of discussion about how dire talks have been.
Forgive Adam Schefter and his on-the-field streaming quality here, okay? His audio, I think he said he was in Florida for some Michigan event raising money for their program. So, shout out to Adam Schefter.
In January, February, March. We're getting texts about it right now, it looks like. Yeah, there it is. Yep, okay, here we go. Okay. The NFL, oh yeah, it's official. 7-year collective bargaining.
So this happened live when Adam Schefter was on Pat McAfee. He got the information that the refs came to an agreement. It's a 7-year deal. So that's great. That is great. I figured this would get worked out, y'all.
Congratulations. Congratulations, NFL and the NFL Ref Association.
Huge.
7 years you have agreed to keep the league, to keep the integrity of the game together. You too. Great entities have come together to become better officials with more accountability and a little bit more advancement of technology. And you, as a league, having the best officials in the world would be a great thing to happen. So you two agreeing to do
3
that?
a.m. I didn't see you say this. No, I don't like Speakeasy. Speakeasy is not my favorite. Don't go around saying that 3 a.m. Nightcap, I would say Nightcap and Pat McAfee side by side. I love both of those. And then who would I say next? I like Closed on Sundays with Terry and Arnold and Patrick Surtain. I like their podcast. But I would say for reporting, when it just comes to reporting, I would say it's Nightcap and Pat McAfee show side by side. They're equal. And then I would say Speakeasy. Speakeasy. Is there another one that does reports live? I'm trying to think. Those are the top 3 that I'm thinking of right now, though. So, yeah.
Congratulations and thank you.
Hell yeah.
It's official, said Shefty on a beach
Put
down
their
there in
swords
Florida
away.
next to a football field. It's official.
Yeah, in fact, Pat, we're going to tweet it out right now as we're going. We're going to put it on the ESPN alert. You're going to get all the news here on all the platforms as we're doing this, because this is what we do. We try to multitask, so we're going to send out all the information everywhere.
Well, how's the Wi-Fi down there? The Wi-Fi's bad.
Wi-Fi's all right.
The tweet is up. The NFL and the NFL
His
Referees
Wi-Fi
Association.
must be good. It's just that wind. He's out there in Florida on the beach, I guess, while on the Pat McAfee show live. Like, that's crazy to me. You couldn't put headphones in? Come on, Scheffner, get it together.
Good picture. Keep going, Pat.
Well, I was going to read your tweet there that you were either typing up or you had your talk to text, which is why you were talking in a text form whenever you told us that the news was breaking. Whatever the case, 7-year deal. The current deal was scheduled to expire on May 31st. It goes through 2032. Congrats to all parties. And I love the photo you chose to use there.
Yeah, good compromise. They all look kind of pissed.
Yeah, kind of pissed, but also understand they got to work together.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think everybody's happy here. This is good news for the league. This is good news for everybody. This is good news for ball.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Congrats to football.
Congrats, football. We won
Congrats to
today, football.
Okay, let's talk about some other
Congrats.
football news.
Round of applause for football. Shout out to football.
As you're standing next to a football field in Florida about to raise millions and millions of dollars for the Michigan athletics program, which is not just football, by the way, a lot of Olympic sports, and you can act like it's a good thing and for the future and all that, but what they're doing right there is showcasing why they are going to be able to continue to compete in athletics in college, and some other places won't. This comes fresh off the news that the University of Michigan were one of the initial investors of OpenAI, and now their investment is worth $2 billion.
Shout out
The
to
University of
AM. Shout out those who love Michigan football. Here's some news on Michigan. Wasn't expecting this, but you know, they're investing in AI. I think that's a great move, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, that's a great move. If teams can invest their money into things like AI or whatever, that's good moves, good business moves, and you know, they could definitely see a return in that.
Michigan invested early in OpenAI. Okay, I don't know how they have an investment fund at a University of Michigan, but obviously they do. That makes sense that they have that. They found this, they get in on it because of the networks. That is now $2 billion in profit. Who knows if they pull that, if they have that, but that could certainly help you get a quarterback.
Pretty good investment.
That could certainly help, and Schefter's certainly doing all he can. Good luck to you guys over there in Ohio, AJ. Now let's keep it moving in the NFL conversation. AJ has a question for you, Michigan man.
Yeah, Shefty, Juwan Jennings signs with the Minnesota Vikings. I guess how did this come about, and what other teams were possibly in play for Jennings?
You know, the interesting thing, AJ, is I was told that there were a few other teams. I can go back and get the exact list. I think it was the Dolphins, the Commanders. There was somebody else that was interested. The Vikings were the only team that I believe he wound up visiting at all. That was the only one. The other team.
So it's interesting that the Vikings got Jennings. Well, I wouldn't even say that's, you know, the most interesting thing. It's just like the moves that the Vikings are making as a whole, I kind of find interesting. We'll see if it pays off for them.
Commanders also were interested in Juwan Jennings, also expressed a little interest. Washington, Kansas City, but ultimately he got a one-year deal for Minnesota worth up to $13 million. It's about $8 million in base pay. And so, look, I think that ideally you want to get these deals done as early as you can in free agency, but he was able to salvage a pretty good situation. And now we got a lot of JJs in Minnesota. JJ McCarthy, who's out here right now. We're going to go talk to him in a little bit. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, another JJ, Juwan Jennings, another JJ. Like, if you are a JJ Spawn might wind up playing for the Minnesota Vikings this year.
So the Vikings love their JJs.
Maybe comes out of the couple games. I mean, there's a chance that a lot of these JJs could potentially go cray-cray for the Minnesota Vikings. You just mentioned JJ McCarthy there, who we saw at a wild game a couple nights ago, going crazy with the lads. And also, incredible, hey, you know what I want? Bang. Okay, so we talked about this, actually. The way he took his hand and put it to Ray here, it was pretty evident what he was looking for, okay? This is a one-dap slapper.
Y'all, this guy failed. This guy failed. You know, just dab him up. But this guy, I don't know if he was going for the handshake. I don't know. But that was funny.
The world understands that. No matter how much chaos is happening here, my guy right next to me shows me this, I know what's coming. Everybody knows this. That's a bang and a boom and a pow, and we're out of there. Okay? Yeah, I like that he's doing that. That's good communication. Okay, that's good nonverbal communication from this guy. Might lead to better awareness on the field as he continues to grow as an NFL quarterback. There's others that give you a little halfy here, okay? Is that a fucking handshake or a high five or a dap up? What are we doing here? I don't know. Some people, go with the fist bump straight ahead, then open hand, then back to the thing. You're not letting me know what you need. JJ handles the moment perfectly.
I mean, you could kind of just guess what type of time that guy was on just based off his outfit, right? The button up, had, a plate in his hand or whatever he was holding. It's like you could kind of tell what type of time this guy was on. More business versus, relaxed game day fit.
Hey, you know what's coming? I'm smacking the shit out of your hand. Guy that has a button down tucked in at a hockey game. So, I mean, that is just good stuff. Let's explore that conversation a little bit more. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Shefty, with seeing him with the boys being here at the game, it just rattled my brain. Like, is Kyler definitely going to be the starter? Or is this an open competition, you think, going in?
Y'all, this is good conversation with Kyler Murray. What we think's going to happen with Kyler Murray.
Well, I think that.
You're kind of.
We have more news.
Oh.
We have more news.
So this is the second breaking news that happened on Pat McAfee today with Adam Schefter.
NFL has confirmed that the schedule release will take place on Thursday.
So schedule release is taking place on Thursday, y'all. We will finally have the NFL official schedule for the games. I'm so excited to see what's on there.
A week or 6 days from now, Thursday, May 14th, the NFL schedule will come out in its entirety, Pat. So we can begin to get ready for next Thursday. There it is, the news. Like, who would have ever thought Friday at 12:45 that the news is going to be pouring
So
in?
Adam Schefter, around 12 o'clock when he's live on Pat McAfee, everyone chooses to release this information to him. I don't think that's a coincidence, though.
What's going on right now?
Well, Shefty, listen, the NFL's 24/7, especially on Friday news dump days. And we know we're in the middle of one of those. May 8th, 2026 in the spring. Got a big weekend of sports ahead. Oh, yeah, and a bunch of NFL shit's about to be dropped on everybody's sports.
Aliens and Hanta Fanta.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of stuff on the internet.
Going on. Shout out to the schedule coming out next Thursday. There was a little bit of hubbub about them potentially delaying the schedule release because not knowing what platform the game is on, or maybe they don't know which games are when. Our source says...
Y'all, this is another thing I just don't like about the direction sports are headed in, is the broadcasting issue. I don't like all these streaming service takeovers, okay? I just miss the basic days where you had it on your basic cable network channel. The game could come on any of your local networks, and then you had the, Monday Night Football or whatever it was on ESPN, I miss those days. Now you gotta have Amazon Prime for Thursday Night Football. You gotta have all these different services. They have the Netflix specials now for Is it the holiday games? I know for sure Christmas. And they were wanting to add more. Netflix was wanting to add more. It's just so frustrating. Why can't we just go back to keeping it on? Well, I know why we can't. It's a money grab.
At the league said that was not the case. They was just, we're just still trying to figure it out. There was a comment made on a podcast before the draft by somebody who was like, and that got kind of taken out of context. Now it's official. It's coming out on Thursday. Excited to see what games are when and where. Remember, the division games, okay? The placement of those are always big conversation pieces. Early and late. Used to be division games are kind of as you worked in because they're the most important games. The NFL wanted to start with a bang with division games, so a lot of teams are having their most important, crucial games at the very beginning of the season, which gave us better football, but had very big possible ripple effects very early in the season. I'm excited to see what the schedule masters do this year. Now, back to the question. You can't say J.J. McCarthy's not going to be the starter because he's 10 feet away from you.
More breaking news. The Green Bay Packers have released Brandon McManus, their kicker, after they drafted the kicker from Florida in the 6th round, and they paid Brandon McManus a lot of money. They gave him a 3-year, $15 million deal last offseason.
$3 year, $15 million? Dang! I didn't realize that. They paid that much money for that man. And now they're releasing him.
His $1 million roster bonus in March, but they have already moved on from Brandon McManus after drafting Trey Smack in the 6th round last month. So there'll be a new kicker in Green Bay. So much for the competition that they thought they were going to have. They have now moved on from him. So again, a lot of news here all of a
So
sudden.
they moved on from the kicker. That is crazy to me.
Green Bay. We got the NFL schedule next Thursday. We got a 7-year labor agreement between the NFL RA and the NFL.
Yeah, it just depends, Mo. There's just a lot that goes into those NFL contracts. I don't know what's written. It just depends on what's written in the contract, but most likely they'll have to, if you sign like a deal where it's guaranteed money, they'll have to give him that money. Like, I'll use Tua Tagovailoa as an example. So they had guaranteed money for Tua Tagovailoa as quarterback at Miami. If they broke that contract and got rid of him, they had to pay Tua, Tua's contract. They had to oblige, by what they agreed to. And that's why Miami is in the hole that they dug themselves in, because they gave Tua that big contract and now he's with the Falcons. And they owe him so much money, which hurt their cap space. Just so much goes into it. It's crazy. It's crazy, Mo. Yeah. That lets you know just how much the NFL is worth. Wow. Exactly. Exactly, Mo. That's something that, we really don't think enough about, is how much the NFL really is worth when they're paying these guys that much money. And, granted, it does have to do with the individual owners. This is why, this is what gets me with Jerry Jones. You got all that. I think I made this a tweet back in my high school days. I made it a tweet. I said, you mean to tell me Jerry Jones got all this money and he can't afford a good team? Make that make sense.
Itself, and we have J.J. McCarthy out here to go talk to you about the Vikings quarterback competition, which I'm happy to get back to if you'd like to.
Okay, so let's expand on Brandon McManus there, because he started with the Indianapolis Colts. I know him. Super Bowl champion, has done incredible things in the NFL, missed more kicks than he would ever like or have on his entire resume. I assume he'll bounce back, go somewhere. Anytime they say there's a competition between two kickers, that's always one more roster spot that's getting taken up by a kicker, especially in this offseason as you're trying to accrue numbers and create things. I assume McManus understood the situation whenever this guy was drafted out of Florida. This guy that got drafted out of Florida bombs balls. We watched him kick. Hopefully he's good. Hopefully McManus continues to go on. 7-year ref agreement. That is awesome. Schedule release coming out Thursday. Spectacular. Starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings.
Great point. You said, I've always thought pro athletes and owners make too much with all the poverty in this country, but at the same time, it's the fans that pour into it, so it is what it is. And I will say this, Mo. I will say this. And this is a lot, this is something that many people aren't aware of. you are required to have your own foundation. I think that is a requirement in the NFL. You're required to have your own foundation and give back. So a lot of these athletes do give back to the community, but probably not nowhere near where it needs to be. And there's very few. So, you know, you have some who give back to those who are cancer patients. Like, there's just different, you know, foundations. Like Dak Prescott has a Faith Fight Finish, and then he had one for mental health whenever his brother self-deleted himself, and he started that. But, you know, it's just like when it comes to the poverty, I feel like there's not enough. There's not enough, you know, giving back to those. Because, let's see, I'm trying to think. I know Josh Jacobs, because some of the players who were in that type of situation, who were homeless at some point, they are the ones who are invested in that. So I know, like, Josh Jacobs, Najee Harris, they are invested in giving back to those who are homeless, but not near enough. Not near enough, let me tell you.
Michigan man, J.J. McCarthy, who's 10 feet away from you, or Kyler Murray? Is that an actual competition? How do you see that going?
Listen, I'm not ready to write off JJ yet. Look, Kyler Murray's got a great opportunity in front of him. It's probably as good of an opportunity as he's had in a long time when you look at all the talent surrounding
I'm wondering
Kyler
if
Murray.
Adam Schefter isn't just saying this because J.J. McCarthy is there. I'm wondering if he wasn't just saying that to make J.J. McCarthy feel good. Like he didn't want to be critical of him, you know, when he's surrounded by him, I guess. I don't know. But maybe there is more quarterback controversy than what we might think. People are already naming Kyler Murray as the starter, but could there be some sort of quarterback controversy? I don't know.
Jordan Mason, he's got Aaron Jones, he's got T.J. Hawkinson, he's got Justin Jefferson, he's got Jordan Addison, he's got Juwan Jennings right now. There's a boatload of talent in Minnesota, and that doesn't even include a head coach who's obviously adept and proficient at getting these offensive plays in and having the offensive production that Kevin O'Connell has. I think.
You know what gets me with that, Mo? I think that's great. I think that's so wonderful that, you know, the military, they give back and that it's, you know, required, you know, throughout your enlistment. The one thing that gets me is you dedicate your time to the service and, you know, you give back to other people. And then when you're out, you kind of get screwed over. You know, we've seen these, you know, of all people, you know, you could speak on more of it than I could, but you see these veterans get screwed over and it takes me off. It does. And then that's why I liked your live earlier today, because you were talking about, you know, CDT's situation and you were like, no, I don't think so. That ain't sliding. And you were giving him resources on how to correct the situation that he's in. I love that. That was a great live earlier. Okay, so you agree. Okay. Well, I'm glad you know you're giving your thoughts on that because it's different. You know, I could say it, but I wasn't ever in the military. So I can only speak from an outsider's perspective and those who I know who have served. But, you know, whenever you get confirmation from somebody who's been through that process, knows what it's like, and experienced it for themselves, that's who you really need to be speaking with.
Look, I think a lot of people believe that Kyler is going to wind up as the starting quarterback, but I think JJ is going to give him a run still. I don't think the Vikings are ready to willing to give up on JJ McCarthy just yet. I think they've got two good quarterbacks there. I mean, these are two high draft picks, so it'll play out. But I think a lot of people believe Kyler's going to prevail and win the job. But again, I'm not ready to give up on JJ just yet.
Okay, I'm excited to watch it all unfold.
Selfishly,
obviously.
I want to see Kyler Murray. Y'all know I'm a sucker for an underdog story. You know, my friends, shout out to them, but my friends, they are not fans of an underdog story. In fact, I need to play that clip from his live where he's a big LeBron fan, but they can't stand an underdog story. Not me, though. Not me. I really like seeing these guys persevere. I don't know. Maybe it just comes from the Bible, right? I see these, the ones in the Bible who persevere and God brings them to the other side and takes a nobody and makes them a somebody. I love that. Maybe it's just from, reading the Bible. I don't know. But, the most common one I could think of is like David and Goliath, right? He was underestimated. And then God took that situation and made him a somebody, defeated Goliath. I love that. I hope that's the situation for Kyler Murray, okay?
Kevin O'Connell's offense is one that is spectacular. They're able to sign another wide receiver who had other options in Juwan Jennings without telling him who the starting quarterback's going to be. That's how prolific that offense can be and should be. Hopefully, JJ can continue to get better. And if Kyler ends up the quarterback of a Kevin O'Connell offense as a diehard Vikings fan for his entire life and has a full resurgence of being the guy that maybe we thought or hoped he could be, that's a great story, too.
Yeah.
Good luck to all parties. The Vikings are currently interviewing for a GM. When's that going to happen?
And I didn't realize the Vikings were without a GM right now. I thought they had a GM. I thought the only one who was having issues, I mean, I can't remember, did Miami find a GM? I need to look into that, but there was another one that I knew didn't have a GM. But I wasn't aware that the Vikings were without one.
Juwan Jennings just signed there. They don't got GM. So, I mean, are they going to get a GM, or is Kevin O'Connell running things? Like, how does that kind of all go over there?
No. They've got about 6-7 guys that are on the list right now. They've submitted. They've got turnkey, a search firm, helping them to identify the right candidate. They've got a situation where they've identified all these candidates, and they're going to interview them, go through the process, and we'll see where they get the information from, but who they wind up hiring. But I think it'll play out here pretty quickly. Rob Brzezinski's the current interim GM. He's done a great job there, and I think somebody that has been overlooked there for a while, he'll have an opportunity. But they've got some really interesting candidates on their list that they've reached out to arrange interviews.
Okay, I cannot wait to see how it works out there. Grigson also potentially in there. Former Colts general manager who had, not necessarily the greatest ending in Indianapolis, but did have winning teams. Kind of seemingly had to go back, earn his way back up to a position to be in interviews again. I had a nice chance to catch up with him. Feels like he's a different person where he's at now. Second opportunity is normally good for people in the NFL, or completely ass both times. But I don't think that'll be the case. There's so many good talents
or
out there.
completely ASS both times. It could go either way, y'all.
2 jobs, just like in coaching. But there's only one senior NFL insider, and that's this man down in Florida. We appreciate the hell out of you, Shefty.
Pat, no more things today. I gave you all I got today. That's all I got today.
Well, tonight you need to go give it a little bit more. I think there's a lot of money in that room, Shefty. Let's be smart.
There's a lot of money in that room tonight, Pat. A lot of money.
Okay.
So supporting Michigan, at that fundraiser in Florida, supporting Michigan. Shout out to that, even though I'm not a Michigan fan. But, 3 a.m.'s a Michigan fan. All right, let me go play that clip from my friends who are big LeBron fans. And I told him every time, I don't do it every time. I really need to put it on the intro. But I told him that every time I'm live, I'll promote it. I'll try to get you that LeBron signature.
I just had to give my boy LeBron Supreme a little glory on this thing tonight. Again, I'm going to do it again. We're going to clip it this time, man. Hey, LeBron. Hey, fam. I don't ask much of you, dog. I don't ask much of you, dog, man. But look, I'm a real fan, bro. I'm a real deal fan. I ain't no fair weather fan. You play bad, I'm still riding. But you really don't play bad that much. If you play bad, I'm still riding. I'm still out here defending your name, bro. All I want is the handshake and the signature, cut.
Y'all, he goes to war for LeBron. And it's so funny because the other day, I didn't get to watch it, but the other day he was live when Cree was live. And they were talking about LeBron versus MJ debate. I need to go back and watch that because I bet that was good. I bet it was good. I purposely did not tell him. Whenever I covered Agree to Disagree, their video on LeBron and MJ, well, actually, it wasn't even LeBron, but it was just, will MJ remain the GOAT in 50 years? But whenever I covered that, I purposely did not tell Nick about it because Nick, I'm telling you, like, he will go to war over LeBron.
All I want is the handshake and the signature, bro. That's it. Hey, if you see this clip, by some way, if you see this clip, I'll let your boy. All I want is the handshake and the signature, bro. I'll fly to you, man.
He had his brother Trey, so Nick and Trey, they're brothers. He had Trey laughing so hard.
Hey, I'm just coming to you as a real fan. I'm just coming to you as a real fan, bro.
They gets it a handshake and a signature.
That's all I need. A handshake and a signature, bro. If you want to come on the show too, he said we good with that. Bye.
He was pushing it with the come on the show part. He was pushing it.
And I promise you, he ain't getting the signature to sell that bottle. That joker gonna sit on the shelf.
Oh, no.
In a glass box.
Get your hand cut off. Hey, I ain't trying to sell it. I would never sell it. Handshake and the signature, big dog. Hey, tell you. We're going to clip that thing and give my boy, hey, I'm on the campaign.
LeBron.
I'm on the campaign.
Savannah. Bronny Jr. Who else is there? What's their other son's name? All the other kids. If you see this, all Nick wants is a handshake and a signature. Okay?
Campaign. Yeah, anybody, right here. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to start saying on my lives, Nick wants the handshake and a signature. Hey, I'm telling you.
Here I am,
Get it out
y'all.
there.
Here I am promoting it. All Nick wants is a handshake and a signature, okay?
Man. Get it out there to the world. All I need is a handshake and a signature, my boy. I'm telling you, I done held it down for you since the jump. Tell you, I'm willing to beat somebody up over that shit.
He ain't lying, y'all. I wish I could tell you he's joking, but he is serious. It may sound like he's joking, but he's serious. He don't play.
So hey, all I need is a handshake and that signature, man. Let me get that. And a one-on-one game versus Bronny.
He keeps adding to it, y'all. He keeps adding to it. He said, come on the show. And now he's saying, and a one-on-one game. Y'all, he's crazy.
No, I'm playing on that part. Hey, at this point, the way you hold it down for LeBron, I think you deserve that handshake and signature. I know I do.
Campaign for it, man. We got a campaign for it.
Here I am, y'all.
I know
I'm campaigning for you, okay? I'm campaigning. I told you I would, so here I am doing it.
Deserve it, man. I know I deserve that handshake and that signature from my boy, man.
Right. I've seen some throwdown arguments.
Come on, bro. Lost voice. Hey, lost friends. I don't play about that LeBron shit. I really don't. And hey, we can call it a day, man. Shit, we can link up, man, get the handshake, the signature off. You know, we can do it all. I'll wait till the off season. I don't need to fuck up the game. You know what I'm saying? We can wait till the off season.
Shit, fly to LAX, handshake, signature, get right back on the plane.
Come on, I'm with that. I'm with that. Hey, real talk.
Y'all, I said, let's see. I said, laughing my ass off. What did I say? I'll wait till the off season. Nick's out here being flexible. Nick was out here being flexible, talking about I'll meet you at LAX and what else? Off season, waiting until the off season. That's so funny.
Hey, in your world, we just living in it, girl. I'm flexible with it. I'll wait till the off season, bro.
Y'all,
I just had to get my
that's
brother
not the only one I
Brandon.
got. That's not the only one I got. And when he says that he's lost friends, family, all of that, he ain't lying. He literally got into a fight with his cousin over LeBron versus MJ.
I'm gonna keep putting that. Hey, LeBron, my boy, if you see this, we're gonna put this on TikTok for you. If you see this thing, man, hey, I'm willing to throw hands.
Compromise looks like. Right? Oh man.
Hands behind your name. You know what I'm saying? I done been in some heated battles behind your name, Bron. So
And
hey,
again, this is why I did not tell him about. I thought about it, y'all. I did. For a hot second, I thought, man, he would be great to have in the chat when I'm covering the Agree to Disagree video because of his thoughts on LeBron, because he can make some really good cases on LeBron, right? So I was like, maybe I should, invite him. And then I was like, nope. I was like, probably a bad idea, because he will fight. He will get heated in the chat. He'd be like, bring me up here, because I'm about to tell everybody off. Yeah, he ain't playing. He ain't playing about LeBron. But it's funny because Broken Traditions, shout out to Broken Traditions podcast, but he brought up a lot of the points that Nick makes on LeBron. And he was great to have in the chat that day, which he's more peaceful about it than what Nick would be. He said, do it. Eventually I probably will have them on. I probably will have Trey and Nick on at some point.
all I want is a signature and a handshake, fam. I ain't gonna lie to you. All I want is a signature and a handshake, dog.
Again, Savannah, LeBron, Braun Jr. I can't remember the other kid's name. But all the other kids, if y'all see this, Nick just wants a handshake and a signature. He really does go to war over LeBron. Please give him that signature.
I ain't asking for much.
I ain't asking for much, fam. I fly to you, cuz. All I want is a signature and a handshake on the Henny bottle, fam. That's it. That's all I need.
Meet me at LAX, fly in, shake your hands, honey, and we turn right back around.
Right back around. I don't need nothing else from you. But no, man, lifelong LeBron fan. I've been rocking with you the whole 23. I'm gonna say I've been rocking with you the whole 23, dog.
I can contest to that.
I thought about that. I thought about clipping this up and adding LeBron and Savannah and the family. I might need a campaign trail. Y'all, we on a campaign trail for Nick here because of the way he holds it down for LeBron.
I spend 10 toes down on any LeBron conversation that's ever been around. I ain't even one of them fans that when the shit get heated, I just be quiet and let them have it. I ain't letting you have it. You're going to have to beat my ass to get me off the LeBron train. Hey, Bron, holla at your boy. Holla at your boy, Bron. Hey, hell yeah, I'm holding that Henny like a trophy.
Every time now, I tell him every time LeBron gets brought up and he holds that bottle up, I'm like, you holding that up like it's a trophy. I tell him this every time. All right, there we go. Shout out to Nick and Trey and LeBron. Again, if you see this, please give Nick a signature. All right, back to it, y'all. Oh, Lord. Yeah. He's a big LeBron fan. All right, let's get into Dan Orlovsky because he was on the Pat McAfee show earlier, and they replayed the moment from the Lions. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I mentioned Dan Orlovsky and the Lions.
You're not getting dunked on this time.
Phew.
Huh?
It's a good day for me then.
Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, the first. Oh, no! Comes from a few years back.
That stinks, Derek. I did play a video from that you had sent me, Derek, on Russell Wilson. I played that video earlier.
The quarterback of the Detroit Lions being chased by a virgin.
That's my first time.
That famous moment where Dan Orlowski was backed up in his own end zone and he was escaping the pocket, trying to make a play happen, and he stepped out of bounds, y'all.
He gets credit for the sack, right?
Absolutely.
I think so. I think thanks for that. I think that's the most important part of that, AJ, is who got credit for the sack.
They got
for the safety
a free sack out of that, y'all. A free sack added to their list because Dan Orlowski ran out of bounds.
Sure. For a long time, he got credit for the sack, and also he's a Hall of Famer potentially because he scared a safety into the other team. And Dano, I'm on your team here. If I was in that position, which I certainly never would, it's an NFL quarterback. I don't know if I would ever
3
get
a.m. You said we don't need to relive this. Hey, 3 a.m. I ain't got no room to talk, right? I talk about not having double standards. I have no room to talk. It ain't like you're the only one. Listen. Look at all the mishaps that Dallas has had. The most heartbreaking recent one. Well, I won't even say it was that heartbreaking. It wasn't really surprising to me. But when Dak Prescott didn't check the ball down and the clock expired against the 49ers, right? There's that mishap. You also had the mishaps that happened with Tony Romo. The most famous one, I think, was it against the Giants with the field goal? Y'all remember that? Yeah, there we go.
position where Jared Allen is over there, but sometimes you're so locked in, you're just not worried about how far back it goes because we're trying to go all the way that way for a touchdown. I'm not worried about backwards.
Now that's true, 3 a.m. But I don't throw that in the Lions' faces, y'all. Even when y'all kicked our butts, I did not throw that in your face. I know other Dallas fans who threw that in your face, but not me though. I didn't do that because it's just like I want to see the Lions. Again, I'm a sucker for an underdog story, okay? I would like to see the Lions reach a Super Bowl. Right? Now, are the Lions in the same conference? I think they're in the same conference as Dallas, the NFC. Now, if it comes time for a Super Bowl, y'all, okay? I got to go and it's Dallas against the Lions. I'm going for Dallas, okay? I'm going for Dallas. If it's to make it to a Super Bowl.
Don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. They dip. You aren't looking back. You're only looking forward for a 98-yard touchdown. So you're such an optimist. You look like an asshole. It made everybody say, "Oh no!"
The oh no train. Shout out to Dan Orlowski though. Now moving on to the Bengals updates. And Derek, perfect timing, Derek, for you to pop back in. Because I got the updates on the Bengals, and I think the Bengals are going to be nothing to play with.
The NFL world, Joe Burrow looks super cool out and about. He also was training with the Bengals just yesterday. He had a full sled on as they are continuing to work out during the spring. They have the sports bra, Catapult sports bra. So cool.
Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I do find Joe Burrow handsome. So I find Joe Burrow handsome. Riley Green, the country music singer, I find him handsome. Let's see, who else? Those are the top two faves, if I had to pick. But Joe Burrow, yeah, he looked good. And it's funny, because I wasn't even a fan of his. I didn't think he was attractive like that at LSU. But I don't know, his swagger, that's what it is. His personality, his swagger, his confidence. I think that's what made me, be like, that's a handsome fella.
Black shirt underneath it, so it looks cool. Yep, and obviously, Joe Burrow's going to look cool whenever he does anything. Running full speed, obviously seems to be pumped. Do you think Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals have a big bounce back this year, Dan Orlovsky?
I do. Right now, that would be my pick to win the division. I think it's obviously a huge year for Cincinnati.
Big words from Dan Orlowski talking about his pick for the NFC, or AFC, would be the Bengals for the division. That's a bold, bold words. But I'm not disagreeing with that. I feel like the Bengals made really great moves for right now. Long term, not so much, but for right now, I think they made, decent moves.
They make the trade for Dexter Lawrence, a bunch of new starters on defense that just have to pay off for them. 2 years ago, Joe Burrow has this historic season in NFL history. It's one of the great quarterbacking and offensive seasons we've seen, and they don't get into the playoffs because the defense is equally historically bad. I have very little doubt that if everyone's healthy on this offense, it'll be a top 5 offense. Now part of that,
I know that they blame Joe Burrow and the wide receivers for not having what they needed on defense this past season. But now I feel like, they did make improvements. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
it's got to be Joe. Joe has to own some of the health of his own career. They've got to protect him. I thought the offensive line was better last year, but it's still a challenge, right?
I disagree with Dan on that. I did not think the offensive line was good. I didn't think it was better at all. He still got hurt because what was he doing? He was having to escape the pocket because the offensive line wasn't protecting and he was trying to make a play. So he ended up getting hurt. I don't see how that's better. It was not better. Better is when you're protecting your quarterback. He might take a few sacks, but he's staying healthy, and for the most part, you're keeping him protected. That's better. But that wasn't the case. Yeah, the O-line, okay, 3 a.m., thank you. You're backing me up on this. I thought so, too. I don't know. I disagree with Dan Orlowski on that one.
It's still been the narrative is they haven't kept him clean. But if he's healthy and this defense just gets a little bit better, yeah, this is the for me, the pick to win the division and absolutely matter in the AFC playoffs.
And one thing that Derek said, shout out to Derek, y'all. Derek said that he thought the big pieces they needed first were the defense. And I was just like, man, but it seems like they need more on offense, like the offensive line. But he wasn't wrong. They did go with the defense. They corrected the issues on the defense, but they also, made moves with the offensive line. I mean, this is why I think they did good. I think they did decent. And you can get a decent offensive lineman or defensive lineman in the free agency, right? And just it might be a 1-year deal, but you can make decent moves. Like they brought in Jonathan Allen on defense. Great move. Roll Tide to him. But they brought in Jonathan Allen. I think that's a great short-term deal. Just moves for right now. I mean, these aren't long-term, like I said. But just enough to satisfy, hopefully, the situation to keep Joe Burrow there at the Bengals.
I think that it's a fascinating year in Cincinnati and in Philly for the quarterbacks because, they're 3 straight years without the playoffs. They don't go again with what they've invested now into the team and kind of given Joe what is needed and wanted, at least by reports. Yeah, you could absolutely see it getting very noisy and him wanting out.
Okay,
last question. I don't know so much. Is it Higgins? What's the other wide receiver? Is it Higgins? I'm trying to think. I want to say it's Higgins, but you have Higgins and you have Chase, right? I know for sure Joe Burrow wanted Chase. I know that was probably like one of his biggest factors is, okay, just bring me Chase. And they got Chase. And then you had Higgins. And it just, it became a money pit. You couldn't invest in much else. So this is why I feel like they're in the situation they're in. I'm hoping that it pays off for the Bengals, though. I really am. I think Burrow might leave at the end of the season if the O-line doesn't improve. I agree with you, Prince Bud. I think if it does not change, and I said this a long time ago, I said if it doesn't change, Joe Burrow's out. I think he made that pretty clear when he gave that one interview, the press conference and he just looked defeated, y'all. He looked defeated. He did not look like he was happy, very dissatisfied, but he looked like he meant business on what he said. He looked like he meant business, saying, you know, if I'm going to continue playing the game, basically there needs to be changes, is what it boiled down to. Yeah, Derek, for your sake, for the Bengals' sake, I hope he don't either. Joe Burrow, and, you know, I played that one video from when Troy Aikman was on the New Heights podcast with the Kelsey brothers. But one of Troy Aikman's fave QBs right now is Joe Burrow. And I agree with him. I agree with Troy Aikman on this. And I compared Joe Burrow to like a Troy Aikman style, like, but even, you know, more elite. Joe Burrow is a sensational talent. One of my favorite QBs, if I'm being honest. He's one of my favorite QBs besides Jalen Hurts. He's just so impressive ever since his days at LSU. And he only played, y'all want to talk trash about Ty Simpson only playing 1 year at Bama. Joe Burrow only played 1 year at LSU. What are you talking about? And it's crazy to me because Ty Simpson had set a record for the most accuracy. So he had less interception and turnovers than any other quarterback. That's including Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, all of them. Think of all the QBs that they've had. And he set a record for having the most accuracy. He also had brilliant yards, more than Mendoza, and was more accurate than Mendoza. Mendoza had like 6 interceptions, and I think Ty Simpson only had like 5. But yeah, Ty Simpson, y'all, I'm getting off topic. Y'all know how I feel. Let me see if I can't find this one meme. Because I'm going to talk about it, y'all. I'm going to talk about it.
So I'm not going to talk about it. I actually am going to talk about it a little bit.
I am going to talk about it a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. I might see that new movie tomorrow. Wait, what new movie? Did you say Mike Jones? I don't even know. Oh, Mac Jones. M-A-C, Mac Jones, yeah. They called him the Joker at Alabama because of the way he smiles. What is up, Juice Drops? Let me go to your drop right here. Shout out to you in the building. Y'all go subscribe to Juice Drops Entertainment.
Everyone wave goodbye to Juice Box! Literally wave! Do it! Here's 2! Everyone wave!
Wave hello, y'all. Wave hello to Juice. Do it.
Okay. Guys.
Shout out to you, Juice. Let me see what you said. It's Joe's fault. They should have drafted Panesi Sewell. I can't say. Is it Sewell? I know who you're talking about. Let me see if I can't remember how to say his name. Sewell? I know who you're talking about, though. To the offensive line who plays for the Lions. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like at first it did work out. We can't say that it didn't work out for the Bengals because you got to think, the Bengals made it to a Super Bowl. They lost to the Rams, but they made it to a Super Bowl. So we can't act like, you know, their decisions wasn't correct at first. It's just slowly that offensive line aged out, and it wasn't it no more. Shout out to you, Pooh Man, for dropping her link. Okay, moving on, though, from the Bengals. Let's go to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we have to move to the NBA because they're in the middle of the playoffs. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Rap Sheet was just kind of floated through the rumor mill. But Rodgers to Arizona, does that have any legs whatsoever? Or is he probably most likely going back to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
And I touched on this a little bit yesterday. I didn't get to cover it in depth like I wanted to. But, man, me and G Honda, shout out G Honda. But me and him, we're going at it. I said, G Honda, you better learn to appreciate your quarterback because he's coming back. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. And when this rumor got started that Aaron Rodgers would go to Arizona, I was like, no. I was like, get out of here with that. That ain't happening. Sure enough, it's not happening. Okay.
No legs for that one.
What?
I certainly don't expect it.
Sorry, Tony.
Sorry to disappoint everyone. I don't expect that. I do not expect him to sign it. When he decides to play football, if he decides to play football, I expect it to be for the Steelers. I expect it to be for the contract where they sort of figured out based on the UFA tag. You'd sort of like it to be before OTAs or at least minicamp, and that's getting to be pretty close here.
Aaron Rodgers has made it clear he does not like OTAs. He does not like minicamps, especially as a veteran. He's not really a big fan of it. He's made that clear in the past. I really don't get the Aaron Rodgers hate, y'all. I don't. I do, but I don't. I've said this before. I do, but I don't. Off the field stuff, sure. But as far as his play, let's not act like the guy isn't talented. Look at what he did at the Steelers this past season. He defeated the Ravens. He still balled out. What are we talking about? As far as, I get the age, maybe. You can make an argument with that, right? But he's staying healthy. He takes care of himself. And I know that people don't like him waiting around. They, think he's acting like a diva, whatever. Sure, you can make an argument on that. But honestly, it's Aaron Rodgers. If you make too big of a deal out of something, of course he's going to have fun with it. Of course, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to have fun with it, and he's going to egg it on. That's Aaron Rodgers. And I don't blame him for that. If you make a big deal out of something, I would take it overseas as well. I'd be like, just messing around. I get it. Okay? That's all I'm saying is I get why Aaron Rodgers is just having fun with it and not coming out with an answer.
We'll see how it all goes. We know he's busy.
Yeah.
Super.
And then when he's done,
Is he?
he's getting busy again.
Yeah, he's working out.
Yeah.
That's a
Working,
joke.
You mean
Referring to his wife, y'all.
He's doing the après lunch that you and Leah are about to go to. You know what I'm saying? You're the man. We appreciate the hell out of you and Leah.
Man, I just got that. Y'all, I didn't get that yesterday, but I just got that little joke that he was making. Man, he was making a joke about him and his wife doing things. Man, y'all, I didn't get that yesterday, but I caught on to it today. That's funny now that I think about it. Yeah. I would have been so embarrassed. My face would have turned red, way redder than his face. All right, here's more on Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron's the GOAT.
Okay, so
Aaron's the GOAT, and he's maybe back to lead a Super Bowl.
Okay, well.
For who?
I like that. I like that.
Have you heard what he's been like over the last, since the draft?
I haven't.
Okay, since the draft, he has sat in that seat right there with that microphone right in front of him and said, Aaron Rodgers needs to get the hell out of Pittsburgh. That is what he said. Yes.
It's not what
he has said numerous times.
Is he a friend of the show?
Yes, he's a good friend.
Not anymore.
Like you just said, the media.
So, Diggs, he made comments like G Honda saying Rodgers needs to go. He only has one arm. All this trash talking Aaron Rodgers. And I kept saying, I was like, you know what? You need to appreciate Aaron Rodgers because that's going to be your quarterback again. And now it's being said that he's expected to fly out to the Steelers and get this deal worked out. A signature should be coming soon. So, I think maybe G Honda might end up backpedaling what he said.
Taking my words and construing the new media in a way. I just said that, I love that he's sitting back and letting Will Howard get some reps to make him progress as a quarterback, maybe the future of the Steelers. I like that he wants to know if the refs are going to be real refs for the season because he doesn't want to come back and
that is not at all what Diggs had said prior. He was talking trash, saying A-Rod needed to get out.
Maybe I'd like that he was waiting for the next pandemic to come back, okay? And he needed to come back and do that. But no, this guy deserved to take. He's 22 years, 4-time MVP, Super Bowl winner. He deserved to take some time, okay?
Wow, this is unbelievable hearing this come out of your mouth. This is crazy, isn't it, AJ?
It's why it's like it's a completely different person sitting over there now.
Yeah, really change a tune, if you will. When we go
I
the
don't
other
understand
way.
what you guys are doing, trying to do.
Sounds like you're backpedaling right now. Feels like you're playing a little defense here.
You know that's not me.
And why is that? Well, there's a lot of reports coming out of Pittsburgh. Okay, mixed reports. Doran Dickerson.
Do y'all think G
morning
Honda will backpedal what he said? Y'all think he might backpedal if Aaron Rodgers returns, like they're saying he will? Because it is expected that he's flying out there and about to sign this deal. Y'all think G Honda will backpedal?
radio show, former Pitt football player, NFL football player, stud, legend, cool guy, Doran Dickerson, has stayed around Pittsburgh and does media. He reported this morning that Aaron Rodgers was going to be traveling to Pittsburgh to kind of get it all sorted out. Shout out to Doran doing that. Shout out to 93.7 The Fan. Used to be B94.
Yeah, sick.
B94.
John, Dave, and Bubba Shelley.
Dude, so good. I mean, just playing the hits. Just top
Hell
hard.
yeah.
Just top hard all the time. So many good times at B94. Now it's 93.7 The Fan because sports are really the only thing that carry anything anymore. Shout out to Doran doing that. He reported, hey, his source says telling him Aaron was coming in and doing the entire deal. Then there's a counter report coming saying, well, if that's happening, nobody told Steelers from Mark Caboli, who has been reporting for the Steelers for a long time. He is by title our Steelers correspondent.
Y'all, this picture is hilarious. I don't know. Me and Tiffany talked about this, but I don't know if that's Aaron Rodgers, y'all. Aaron Rodgers and Nick Sirianni kind of look alike. Is that Nick Sirianni or is that Aaron Rodgers? Because they kind of look alike.
My title.
Locked in.
He is our. We're in constant communication.
We talk to him every morning.
We love Mark. We let Mark do his thing. I'm a pretty hands-off leader. Mark just kind of does his thing. I'm thankful he's still doing his thing. He said, Steelers have no idea what you're talking about. So then there's a little bit of a whoa, Aaron Rodgers stuff happening. Then Ian Rappaport comes out and goes, actually, Aaron Rodgers, who is expected to visit the Steelers Friday and this weekend, will likely play for them in 2026.
So Ian Rappaport, that's the one that I showed you guys just before I played this clip. He was on Pat McAfee show saying that Aaron Rodgers is in fact flying out and expected to sign this deal. So
a deal is not done, and there is always caution until things are signed. But Rodgers' plan is to play for Pittsburgh, and these are the steps towards that end.
He said Rodgers' plan is to play for the Steelers, and that kind of goes back to what Mike McCarthy had said early on when he was on the Pat McAfee show. I wish I still had that clip, but I don't believe I do. But early on, when Mike McCarthy was on the Pat McAfee show, he said that him and Aaron Rodgers had been in contact with each other. So they are in communication, and I feel like they do have something worked out already. It's just not signed yet. Similar to what you've seen with the George Pickens situation. I told y'all, I said, even though I did like how Pickens handled it. I ain't gonna lie. I liked how Pickens handled it. He was like, well, I ain't gonna sign it yet. I feel like he out Jerry Jones on that one because he probably had Jones thinking that he was gonna sign it during the draft, and then that didn't happen. And he waited to sign it. So I like how George Pickens handled that. But I told y'all, George Pickens, had to sign that either way to be able to have the possibility of being traded. That was the only way he had the option of being traded, is if he did sign that franchise tag. So either way, that tag was going to get signed. It was just a matter of when. And I kind of like how he waited to sign it. But, I feel like that's kind of what Aaron Rodgers is doing, but just with the fans. Like, the Steelers and Mike McCarthy, they likely know he's signing this deal. He's just messing with the fans because of how heated the fans are over this. He's just having fun with it. And I ain't mad at it, like I said.
After it was like kind of rebutted, I guess, and then he comes out and says that what it sounds like, especially if Rappaport's reporting this, is that Aaron's coming over to Pittsburgh tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he's probably doing what everybody in the Steelers organization seemingly has expected, which is come back and play. And now Tone Diggs, AJ, Yinzer Steeler diehard fan, has to walk back everything he has said since the draft, as he was just echoing the Yinzer statement.
Well said, Patrick.
Okay, is what he was saying. But
Way of telling the fans to chill.
a lot of the people in there, he knows exactly what it's going to be like. We're Pittsburgh Steelers. Can you at
What
least have
is
a little
up,
bit of
DT
respect?
Hope? Good to have you in the building. You said, good evening, Chelsea and chat. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. We made it. We made it through the week, DT. We made it through the week. Y'all go subscribe to DT Hope. Great content over there.
For who we are. That is how Yinzer started feeling, okay? I think multiple times have mentioned, this guy's committed his whole life to football. It's probably a pretty big time decision on whether or not he wants to do it. Now it sounds like we're getting closer to a resolution. And I think Yinzer's fans, just like Tone, will do exactly what Tone did, which is like, he was the best option all along. We'll hire get another year. I think that's how it'll go. You think Aaron understands that? And what do you think the validity of all this is, AJ?
Yeah, I do wonder what the validity is, and it sounds like whether Aaron is in town, he's coming in town soon. They act like he's going to sign at some point here in the near future, whatever that means. Like near future, what is that? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? I don't know.
This weekend, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, there's no telling what could happen. I would hate if anyone took all of Tone's takes about this are on camera and recorded somewhere. I would hate if someone cut those together and made a little mashup of Tone flip-flopping on this whole situation.
And like I said the other day, I feel like that's what I'm going to end up doing with G Honda. Shout out G Honda. But I need to go back in the chat and find every time that G Honda was talking about Aaron Rodgers. He went from bragging on Aaron Rodgers to just bashing Aaron Rodgers, saying he only had one arm and all this mess. I feel like I should screenshot that just in case Aaron Rodgers... I mean, he's likely, like they said, that he is likely to sign this contract. It's just a matter of when. But I feel like I need those screenshots so I can clip it up and play it. Play it on the live.
That would not do well for Tone, I feel like. But if Aaron comes back and he wins games and they takes him on a deep playoff run, no one cares and no one remembers.
And you know what? It's so crazy how quickly people forgot what Aaron Rodgers just did. It's like, it's crazy to me they're talking trash about him after he defeated the Ravens. That's insane to me. Honestly. I get, why he gets hate because of his, off the field antics and all that, sure. But the guy can play. Let's not act like he can't play. Y'all seen what he did against the Ravens. And the Ravens were a great team. Lamar Jackson balled out in that game. And that game honestly came down. It was one of those games where it came down to who had the ball last. Dare I say this? Dare I say it? That was my favorite game last season. I need to go back and rewatch that game because that was honestly my favorite game from last season was the Steelers versus the Ravens. I was so heartbroken. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was so heartbroken for Lamar Jackson. I wanted that so bad for Lamar Jackson. And he played a heck of a game. That was a difficult one. And then you also had Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's talented. And I know that he gets a lot of hate, but I don't mind him. What is up, CDT? Good to have you in the building. Shout out CDT Beats. Let me speak English. Press 1 for English, y'all. But y'all know he is my music producer. That's the beats that get played over here. He is going to be the one and only music producer. Just letting y'all know. The one and only music producer for this show is CDT Beats. Let me play your drop, CDT. I think I'm done with this clip. Yeah, I'm done with the clip. Shout out to CDT Beats. Make sure y'all are subscribed to his channel. We are a package deal. If you're subscribed to me, you better be subscribed to CDT Beats, okay? That's just how it works. Alright, moving on. Let's see what else I got. Is there another one? Yay, we finally get to the topic. Y'all, man, I've been on here chit-chatting for hours. But we're finally into the topic of today's show, which is about Christian Parker. And how much control does he really have over this defense? And my friend, I made a new friend, y'all. He's not only a Dallas Cowboy fan, but ironically, he's from Alabama and he's a Roll Tide fan too. What are the odds? I don't meet many people like that, y'all. I don't. But, you know, me and him, both Alabama fans and both Dallas Cowboy fans.
A defensive coordinator job, and you looked at the way the roster was on defense. How does it look now compared to then?
I think we've done a good job. I think you know, the Joneses and Will and their staff over there, they've done a good job just assessing and evaluating talent.
So he's saying a lot of we statements, not just him.
We're having great dialogue on what the schematic fits are, what we're looking for, what we expect those guys to do in different situations. If we have this, then maybe we don't have that, and kind of how to piece it all together. You know, because the defense is going to get formed about the personnel that we have. But their process has been very thorough in terms of just accumulating the talent.
Christian, hold on.
And their staff over there, they've done a good job just assessing and evaluating talent.
Let me know if I'm looking at this the wrong way, or am I bugging out? Am I tripping or what? Let me know. But to me, that answer sounded like I told them the characteristics of the player, but I didn't just go handpick the player that I wanted. Now, I did hear they gonna go into him talking about he's sending pictures to Stephen Jones and them and stuff like that. So I've been hearing that he got a lot of pull in the front office right now, and they believe in him and they giving him leeway, but it still sounds like he a little restricted.
I finally, not only is he an Alabama fan, but a Dallas fan, but he also has a similar mindset. He's not like, it doesn't sound like he's one of those, I'm still getting to know him, but it doesn't sound like he's one of those delusional Cowboy fans, which is hard to come by. Let me just say that. That's difficult to come across, is the delusional Cowboy fans. But this was my thing, is the statements, the we statements, and then you have him reporting to the Joneses still. It's like, how much control does the man really have? And all these Cowboy fans that I've seen have been going crazy talking about, oh, well, he finally has control. It's not, you know, the Joneses are finally letting him have control over the defense and let him have his way making the decisions. I don't know about all that. You know, I don't know about all that.
Or is that me? Or is it just me? Let me know, y'all. What y'all think? Because it sounds like he's still a little restricted. He said they did a good job in evaluating talent and did this and did that. He didn't say we. He didn't really include
No, he said a lot of
we,
right? He said, I get what he meant. He didn't say me, but he said a lot of we statements. I don't like that. It's like, you know, you're the defensive, but this is always the issue with the Cowboys, right? Is you're never going to have a head coach and coordinators who are in full control of the team, because the Joneses have always wanted control over player personnel decisions. This is why they lost Jimmy Johnson as a head coach. So let's not act delusional here.
Like, maybe that was he misspoke or something, I don't know. Or maybe I'm looking too deep into it. But for him to still be having to send pictures and stuff, it sounds like he might have not been that involved. Like, he was involved, but he wasn't as involved as he would like.
To have to send pictures? Y'all know how insane it is? I mean, it's not that insane, right? It is the Cowboys, like I said. But you got Jerry Jones as the owner and GM. I mean, is it really surprising you have the defensive coordinator sending the pictures to Jerry Jones, and, you know, the Joneses in general? No, it's really not that crazy. But you look at other teams' situation where the head coaches have so much control and can build a team and make the player personnel decisions that they feel is best. Like, look at the Eagles. Everyone brags about Howie. How Howie, the GM, has so much control and works, you know, obviously it's a team effort, because I do feel like Nick Sirianni does have more input than what people give him credit for. But I feel like it's a team effort between Howie and Nick Sirianni and the coordinators, right? And that's why it's so successful. This is why you've seen Andy Reid succeed. This is how you've seen Bill Belichick succeed, is because they're able to make those decisions and the owner is staying out of it for the most part. But the teams who have the most struggle, it seems like, are the teams with owners who have so much input. You can use Dallas as an example. You can use the Browns as an example. Let's see, who else? Would you put Miami in there? Miami, they're starting over. I don't know about the Atlanta Falcons, but they're another one where they're having to make a lot of changes. So I don't know. I mean, it's just not good.
On the low, one of the reporters asked him this question at the very end of the interview. And I think a lot of people missed it. And he basically asked him, did he feel like his voice was heard? I think I recorded it on here too, so we're going to talk about it when we get to it. But that's a very interesting take. Let me know what y'all think about that, man, because I could be tripping. But it do sound like he's still kind of restricted. And I don't like the fact that he didn't include himself in it. He didn't say we did a good job in evaluating talent.
I feel like he misspoke on that. I will say that. Because he did say a lot of we statements, but that's the issue here, is he's using the we statements. He's not using the I statements, taking control and showing ownership of his decisions, but using a lot of we statements. And it's not surprising if you think about it, of why he's using the we statements, because Jerry Jones has made it clear that he wants to be GM and owner because he wants the credit for winning a Super Bowl. So it's not surprising that he's having to use these we statements instead of I statements.
Out the players, he said they. I don't know.
Was on defense. How does it look now compared to then?
I think we've done a good job. I think the Joneses and Will and their staff over there, they've done a good job.
The Joneses. That's my issue right there. That's the end. That's it. Cut the show. I'm done, y'all. Let me see. I think I got that clip. Hold on. Let's see. Where do I have it at? Cut the show. I'm done. That's one of my favorite clips.
What's going on? I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off. Take me off.
We then after
Cut the show. I'm done, y'all. I don't want to hear nothing about what the Joneses are doing, y'all. Oh man, that just makes me question everything. Let me see where we were at here. I think we were right here.
Include himself in it. He didn't say we did a good job in
I think we've done a good job. I think the Joneses and Will and their staff over there, they've done a good job just assessing and evaluating talent.
So the Joneses have done a good job assessing and evaluating. What a line of baloney. You know what? I need that. I think I have that. It's just not on here. I need that as a drop too. Judge Judy saying baloney. Because I'm telling you, that's a line of baloney. Who trusts the Joneses' judgment in assessing and evaluating talent? I sure the heck don't. What are we talking about here?
I ain't gonna lie, League Commander, you the op, but that show went across my mind. Shot have been throwing that elite word around a little too freely. He probably just being hyperbolic.
I really like his takes on things. He had, like I said, he has a similar mindset to me. He's not one of, so far, I'm still getting to know him, but it doesn't sound like he's one of the delusional Cowboy fans. Because I've seen nothing but people like bragging on Schottenheimer and acting like he's the saving grace for the Cowboys and like everything's gonna be different. Like I always tell y'all, I believe it when I see it when it comes to the Cowboys.
You gotta trust him though. He gotta trust him because he hired him. So he probably do feel like he's elite. He believe in him.
great dialogue on what the schematic fits are, what we're looking for, what we expect those guys to do in different situations. If we have this, then maybe.
Now look though, what's so crazy? He started spamming the word "weed in" after that. So listen.
Coordinator job, and you looked at the way the roster was on defense. How does it look now compared to then?
I think we've done a good job. I think the Joneses and Will and their staff over there, they've done a good job.
He
of
said
assessing
we
and
the
evaluating.
entire time, but the we word is the problem. Because he's not using I statements. Like I said, he's not using I statements saying I made this decision. I evaluated this talent and I made the call on this. It's not I statements. It's a we thing. And we all know the we thing comes from the Joneses.
Talent. Bringing players to us. We're having great dialogue on what the schematic fits are, what we're looking for, what we expect those guys to do in different situations. If we have this, then maybe we don't have that, and kind of how to piece it all together. Because the defense is going to get formed about the personnel that we have. But their process has been very thorough in terms of just accumulating the talent.
Now, to be fair to him on this, I feel like you do, to a degree, you do need to use some we statements because it is a team after all, right? So I will say that. That's the defense that I'll use for Christian Parker. It is a team. You want to be, collective. That's what I'm going to use here for that defense. But on the other hand, it's like questionable when it's not I statements being made on important decisions, showing that you do have that control.
Maybe he's saying there because he's new to it and they already got a way of doing things. It might be just some semantic type stuff that I look too deep into. So hopefully it's not a red flag.
I don't think he's looking too deep into it. I don't think he's tripping on this, y'all. I think he's spot on because these are the same thoughts I've been having as well.
I hope he's as involved as he want to be.
Gio, how much is that a carryover? Do you have new things that you want to implement, or is it going to be a lot of similar?
We'll see.
Jerry talked about.
He said, "We'll see." Do you have that reporter asked him, "Do you have new things you want to implement?" That man said, "We'll see." You mean to tell me you can't make the decision on that? You mean to tell me you can't go to Schottenheimer and say, "Hey, I think this is best for the defense"? What control do you have? Because so far you're showing me that you don't have any control. Y'all can see my comments. I was loving this, y'all.
See, he keep dodging a lot of that. Because they keep bringing up Fangio, they keep bringing up the Eagles, they keep bringing up Denver, and all these other people that he's associated with. He like, man, he had to end up just saying, like, listen, this is going to be my defense. Like, it's our defense. I love how he approached that.
Approach, from Will to the Joneses to Klein Kubiak to Shadi to the position coaches. I mean, there's a whole lot of dialogue. You're getting different perspectives. People are responsible for looking at certain things and gathering certain information. So I think as we kind of explained what we were looking for and how we were looking for it, I think it all came together and was real collaborative.
Real collaborative. I don't know.
It's words like that. That's the issue. And I'm glad he picked up on it. This is what made me subscribe to his channel because I was just like, yeah, I'm with this. It's the delusional fans who are saying, like, I'm friends with a lot of the delusional Cowboy fans, right? Who are saying we're going to a Super Bowl, who's saying all these things and saying, like, Christian Parker has the control over the defense, all of that, right? I'm friends with the Dallas fans who are on that side of it, but not me, y'all. I ain't going for that. I say I believe it when I see it, and I'm glad that he's not one of the delusional fans so far from what I've seen.
I don't know how to feel about that. It gotta be collaborative, of course. I'm not acting like I'm naive. I understand that Will and Klein Kubiak and Jerry and Steve, and I understand that it's a process, it's a chain of commands. It's several people that gotta evaluate these talents, the scouts, and everybody gotta come on, like, end up in the same space with it. But collaborative is very scary when you in cowboy land, man. Don't blame me for my PTSD.
I love that part. Don't blame me for my PTSD, right? I mean, we all know how it goes. Well, maybe not all of us, but the ones who are not delusional Cowboy fans, we know how it goes with the Cowboys. So we're looking at it from the perspective of questioning just different things we're picking up on, like the we statements and saying about sending pictures on assessing talent to the Joneses, all of that. We pick up on that.
A Cowboy fan. Like, I know Jerry and them. We know they metal. That's why
we know they metal. That is the biggest thing with the Cowboys. Like, when it comes to the Joneses, is they metal. Like I said, this is why we couldn't keep Jimmy Johnson, and why Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones split is because Jerry Jones wanted the credit for the Super Bowl. He did not like the fact that Jimmy Johnson got credit for that Super Bowl. He wanted to take credit for it, and he knew the way he could get it was by being the owner and GM and making all the player personnel decisions. This is why they meddle.
When I heard all this collaboration and stuff like that, you know, look, she on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that collaboration shit when you here in Dallas and you talking about the Joneses.
I don't even know what I said here, y'all. Let me look. What did I say? Collaborative approach, translation, Jones still got their noses in. What did I say? Let me see. I gotta zoom in, y'all. Gotta zoom in some more. Collaborative approach, translation for Joneses still got their nose in coaches' businesses. Don't be delusional Cowboy fans. Y'all, it's the truth. It's what I've been saying.
You only should be collaborating with Will McClay and the Scouts or some shit. Like,
he has a point. That's exactly right. This is why I have y'all. I'm about to play. I got some Stephen A. drops. Hold on, let me remember where I'm at here. Okay, 5:59. Let me play some of my Stephen A. drops for this one.
Who told you that was okay? I want names. I want faces. I want to know. Because the shit ain't okay. How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Defensive coordinator.
I want to know what the heck is going on and why these Cowboy fans think that he has control. That's all I've been hearing. Oh, Christian Parker has more control now. Jerry Jones is finally giving him control. How? How? When he's making statements like that? Control where? I really want to know. Because I ain't seen it. I ain't seen it, y'all. Especially after this interview. And I'm glad that he picked up on it. Because I was like, okay, I can subscribe to you. I can subscribe to the. Now, there's very few. I was going to say, there's very few delusional Cowboy fans that I'm subscribed to. I can name one account that I'm subscribed to that are delusional Cowboy fans. And they had just okay, so they had posted, I need to clip it up, but they had just said that the Cowboys are going to a Super Bowl. And it's the Cowboy Can fans. I'm telling you. I need to clip that up. Because I didn't make a bet necessarily, but I said this. I was like, maybe I should, since I have so many Eagle fans, I was like, maybe I should say, take one for the team and put it out there. Okay, well, if they really think the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl like they claim, maybe I should say, if the Cowboys don't make it to a Super Bowl, the next season, I will be an Eagles fan. For 1 year. For 1 season. For 1 season, y'all. I will become an Eagles fan if the Cowboys don't make it to a Super Bowl. I'll take one. I'll take one for the team here. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't see the Cowboys making it to a Super Bowl. I'll just be honest. It's like there's too many question marks. There's always going to be a question mark when it comes to Jerry Jones. Well, the Joneses in general. Let me see what you said, 3am, because I feel like you said something good here. Jerry Jones is like that girl that always gossips in high school. That's true. This your new friend? Yeah, this is my new friend. My new Cowboy in Alabama friend. Shout out to him. But I just, randomly came across his page and I was like, yeah, I like what he's saying. He's talking sense. Because not many, like I said, not many Cowboy fans are, in their right mind. They're very delusional, like Jerry Jones.
With Will McClay and the Scouts or some shit. Like, hey, stay away from the Joneses, man. Like, I don't like that part.
Stay away from the Joneses. Stay away. But there is no way Christian Parker could stay away. Even he had to have known when he came on to this job that the Joneses were going to have their input, that it's a team effort. This is why I've said it over and over again. We don't get good coaches because the Joneses want too much control. Who's going to put up with that? Who would put up with that? Honestly, I thought, despite the criticism Bill Belichick has gotten, if Bill Belichick could have stayed in the NFL, I thought he would have been a great fit for the Cowboys, especially building up our defense, getting our defense back to where it needed to be after Dan Quinn left. Y'all, and I've seen so many Cowboy fans hating on Dan Quinn. In this chat, I got into it with someone who was criticizing Dan Quinn. I'm like, how are you going to criticize Dan Quinn? He got us further than all these other defensive coordinators. Talking about Eberflus and Zimmer, whatever his name is. He got us further than those two. How are you going to critique Dan Quinn like that? Because Dan Quinn, at least he got us to playing the 49ers and playing the Green Bay Packers those past two times. Granted, we've never been able to stop the run. That's what needs to change. We need to stop the run. And the changes that they're making, like with Christian Parker switching back to a 3-4 defense, because I showed y'all an old Tony Romo game against the Eagles with McNabb, and they used to run a 3-4 defense back in the, 2000s, was a 3-4 defense. That defense is meant to stop, like a 4-man front stopping a run game. What's up, D-Money? I'm over here ranting about the delusional Cowboy fans.
About it, man. I do think it's a lot. It's going to be definitely different. You really can't go nowhere but up from here. So I think he do got a good plan for what he's trying to do with this defense.
I think so too. I think he's got a great plan. It's just going to take time. That's why I'm saying I don't know if they're going to a Super Bowl. Hold on, y'all. I want to go. My bad, y'all. I was clicking through my scenes here because I wanted to play D-Money's new drop. Maybe, I hope I added it. I found another coleslaw drop for D-Money. What are the odds, y'all, that I was just in, which live was it? I'm trying to think of which live. It was one of D-Money's lives, right? And he was gaming, and I was watching ESPN, and they just happened to bring up coleslaw. What are the odds? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get that as your new drop. So now D-Money's going to have 2 drops on coleslaw. Let me add it real quick because I forgot to add it. I'm so excited for this too, y'all. When I heard that, I was like, look at God. Ain't no way. Ain't no way they're talking about coleslaw right now. All right, here we go. I just gotta add the sound for me so I can hear it. Move it over. All right, here's your new drop, D-Money.
Well, Scott, on the topic of coleslaw, We're on television.
Your name is Mud in these parts.
I'm
Tell
well
the people
aware.
what your deal is with the coleslaw.
I don't want it on a sandwich. It's not on the sandwich. When you say don't put it on the sandwich, they go, it comes on the sandwich. And I say, not if you don't put it on the sandwich. And then they look at me like I'm not the one paying for the f***ing sandwich. Just don't put it on the sandwich. How hard is this? I'm not being the jerk here. I'm really not.
I'm not being the jerk here. I'm really not. That's D-Money on his take on coleslaw. He hates coleslaw, y'all. He ain't being the jerk here, so he claims, even though he is like the biggest coleslaw hater. You know what? Let's play the original. Let's play the original while we're at it.
Oh, and can you bring my coleslaw on a separate plate? I hate it when it touches my bread.
He said no black people like coleslaw. I gave you a black person. I gave you a black person talking about coleslaw on a plate.
Oh, and can you bring my coleslaw on a separate plate? I hate it when it touches my bread. Oh, and can you bring my...
There we go. 3 a.m., do you like coleslaw? I can't remember if you told me if you were... I asked everybody and their mama if they like coleslaw. I ain't kidding. Whenever D-Money was saying that no black people like coleslaw, I was like, I think not. You ain't gonna put that on every black person. So I went around asking everybody if they like coleslaw. I ain't gonna lie, I won't hold y'all. The majority said no, but there were still yeses, okay? There was still the people that said they do like coleslaw, okay? SVP is a real one. Okay, you said heck no. Well, 3 a.m., 3 a.m., you could have lied. Come on now. She's mixed. Look at you giving half, like, credit or, you know, trying to discredit somebody just because they're mixed. Look at you. That's racist. Alright, y'all. Let's see what I covered today. Did the motivational video. I actually remembered to do the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem, so shout out to that. Covered the Lakers versus OKC game. Also, CDT Beats, I did play that one clip that you had sent me. That one play that dude made, the way he tracked him down. That was so impressive. That was a great play. But I played that clip. Also played the video that Derek had sent me on Russell Wilson, so we could do a recap on Russell Wilson's career lately. And then I got into the updates with him being offered a spot for the Jets, which I don't think he should take it, because he's weighing his options on returning to football, playing for the Jets as a backup, I guess, and TV. I think he should go into the TV broadcasting. So covered that. We covered the Shefty report because Adam Schefter was on Pat McAfee, gave you all the latest updates going on in the NFL. Covered Aaron Rodgers' return because, you know, shout out G Honda. G Honda tried to say, like, nah, he ain't coming back. He only has one arm, talking trash on Aaron Rodgers. And I said, you better put some respect on your quarterback because he will come back. He is returning. And sure enough, the reports came back that he's expected to fly out and sign a deal at some point, and so we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, if that deal gets done, the second that deal gets done, I am going back in my chats and finding every message from G Honda of where he said Aaron Rodgers has one arm and talking all this trash. I'm finding all that, y'all. What else did I cover? Oh, I didn't get into Mahomes. I'm trying to think of what the Mahomes thing was anyways. I think it was just on his return, like the fast track to his return, like he's on schedule. I think they got into Justin Fields. Maybe I'll play that if it's still relevant, y'all. They don't lie when they say, what's the saying about it's yesterday's news? Like how quickly the news turnover goes. So, you know, if I rewatch it, it could be yesterday's news and I'm just like, forget about it. But we did cover the Christian Parker topic. I've been on here forever, y'all. Okay? Yeah, he tracked him down. I know, I have that play right here. Hold on, I'll play it again. like, he spotted him. He was like, I got this. Tracked him down, you know, wrapped him around, took him down. I'm telling you, that was a great tackle too, but he spotted him. Oh, you actually do, on defenses, you do have someone, what does Nick Saban call them? I gotta go back and watch some Nick Saban explaining defensive schemes. But there's one that Nick Saban ran a similar play against Texas A&M when it was a home game and the game was on the line, and they had, I think they call him a spy, but I think that's what he was doing. He was the spy. He was spotting it. He seen that guy, and he's like, I got it, and he went after him. Yeah, he wasn't playing. He wasn't messing around, y'all. He wasn't messing around. Let me go back to it, though, because if I see where he was at on the field, because he was in the middle of the field, and that's usually where you have them if you're wanting someone to be a spy like that. Yeah. Yeah, when you're right there, like, he's likely the one that's being a spy, because you see all the other ones lined up. He's keeping his eye on everybody, likely being the spy here. So whenever he spotted him, he's like, I'm going straight for him. Yeah, he knew. He knew. What a stop. That was so impressive. Shout out to that play. Okay, now let's close it out with the motivational video from Pooh Man that he had sent me earlier. Shout out to you, Pooh Man.
You is like, you can't control the outcome all the time. Sometimes it should go the other people's way. It shouldn't always go your way. So you get motivated by the losses. You stay motivated through the winning. What you can control is your process. You can control those intangibles.
Beats, I ain't gonna hold you. I got my phone pulled up just on your profile, on your channel, and I kept refreshing the page. While I was on live, I kept refreshing the page. I'm like, I'm not seeing he's going live. I was like, he should be going live. It's Friday. Oh, I need to play Mo's drop too. Hold on. I'll replay this in a second, y'all. Let me go to Mo's drop, because I didn't play, shout out to Mo, I didn't play her drop, I don't think.
Well, Scott, on the topic of cold slaw,
we're on television.
Your name is mud in these parts.
Alright, let me find Mo's new drop here. Because she knows exactly how I am, y'all. She called me out on it too. Let's see. I'm still getting adjusted to where all these drops are for everybody. Here we go.
CDT says I'm going live tonight. I slick was thinking about not, but I'm gonna do it. If you need a break, take a break. Shit. Trust me, we understand. You do's a lot, man. But Chelsea Lynn might break out in the hives if you don't. She gonna be stalking you, man, if you don't.
I stalk that page, I'm telling you. When I'm live, I keep refreshing. Like, is he going live yet? Is he going live yet?
For nothing else, you better do it for the North Carolina.
Shout out to you, CDT Beats. But you know, you informed me that you are in fact going live. I was waiting the whole time. I was refreshing my page, seeing if the live was scheduled, and I was getting worried. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was getting kind of concerned, and I was gonna ask you, I'm like, are you going live? But thank you for letting me know. Okay, now let's close it out with the motivational video.
You is like, you can't control the outcome all the time. Sometimes it should go the other people's way. It shouldn't always go your way. So you get motivated by the losses. You stay motivated through the winning. What you can control is your process. You can control those intangibles. You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you.
And this is something Nick Saban talks about. Focus on what you can control. Don't get caught up in the past. Don't get caught up in the future. But focusing on what you can control today. And I like how Tom Brady goes into detail with it. Controlling your attitude. Controlling your work ethic. Those are things within your control. that you can do to improve and get better, because things are not always going to go your way. And like I said, it's difficult for everyone. Like, I can tell you personally, it is extremely difficult for me to handle the difficult days, especially when I get depressed. It's really difficult, or overly anxious, because I have very bad anxiety. Extremely hard for me to get out of my own way and overcome those things. But it's like he said, you have to work on what you can control to be better. So I can control my attitude. I can control how I approach things. I can control my attitude, right? So shout out to Tom Brady for that, and shout out to Pooh Man for sending me that. He also sent me another one. I'll try to play that tomorrow. But that's going to be it. CDT Beats is going live. Make sure y'all show up. Let me see. I'm going to go to your page, CDT, real quick and click on. Well, you ain't got the live up yet. I'm refreshing the page. I'm on your page, okay? But I'm going to drop the link real quick. Y'all go check out CDT Beats. He will be live. He told me he will be live, okay? CDT Beats, you don't get a break today. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. If you need a break, like Mo said, take a break. But I'll break out in hives. I might break out in hives. All right, y'all. I will catch you over at CDT Beats' channel. Bye, Touchdown Tribe.
Something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night we let the liquor talk, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night we let the liquor talk, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night we let the liquor talk, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over.